All right. Welcome back, everybody, to episode 2 of Tears of the Rose, or Blue Rose actual play. It is lovely to be back and to see you. Hey, buddy. Uh,
It's the baby.
hey, little baby. You needed love. Yes, needed all the love. Ow, your claw's taking my leg, though. Uh, yeah, we are back with one more episode, so it's good to be back and tell more of the stories that were just barely started as we just introduce very briefly our characters and are only starting to get to know them, but I'm sure there's a lot more to tell. Um, Before we get started, and let's just do a quick, the usual quick announcement and all that, because the Restoration is affiliated with a few nerdy companies, so and they're a great way that you can buy things and support our show and stream at the same time. Um, First and foremost, we are dice affiliated with Die Hard Dice, home of the friendliest shopkeep in the realm. There you can find quality polymer and metal dice and various accessories. You can do some mark dice in the chat. Uh, there it's going to give you three things technically. It's going to give you the link to our Wellspring dice set, which I do believe last I checked, like earlier this last month, was still sold out. But you can still support the channel by using our affiliate link, which is right there in the chat, and you can get yourself a nice little discount by using the promo code GRC10 to get 10% at checkout. Uh, Next, we also affiliated with Hip on Press, where you can find they make TTRPG reference card books and various accessories. A lot of things for 5e compatible. They bring you awesome settings such as Humblewood, Sonota, and so much more. Griffin's Saddleback, and all that. You can do marked HPP in the chat to get our affiliate link and support us through them. And last but not least, we are also proudly affiliated with the lovely folks at 1985 Games, maker of Dungeon Craft, the Andy 2D Terrain book series for the budget GM on the go. They have also cool things like the Deck of Stories, which allows you to craft, you know, random little quick story just with like prompt card and PCs and all that right on the go. Draw a card, dungeon nodes, and counter spell minis to elevate and better days with your game. And they also have like very cool dice. If you check out their VHS dice set, which are very pretty. I don't have a set near me to show you, but they also have like surprise mystery bag and all of that, and so much more. You can use our affiliate link in the chat. There you go. Panda is showing us the one of lovely dice. And you can use our affiliate link to support us and get yourself 10% off at checkout uh, for a lovely 10% off discount. I'm pretty sure with all that was happening last week, I'm pretty sure if I look back at the VOD that I absolutely skipped going over the affiliate links. But hey, it's all right. We made it this week. I was gonna say we made it this year. No, we didn't make it yet this year. We're still trying for that. All right. So I think that runs it for our affiliate and all of that. So I think it's time to somewhat properly jump into uh, tonight's episode of Tears of the Rose. Right. Let's have the proper jams playing. There we go. So, where we left off last week, we first met our heroes, or what are the seeds of potential great heroes here, and grand all this. Um, some were coming to the great city for the very first time, setting their eyes, coming from afar, on board, um, very questionable vessel. But it still got them there. Some were coming back here after a long time gone, finding like it's like coming back home for the very first time after so many years away. Some were waiting almost impatiently for news, and some were just very much doing their job, probably a bit too well.
Hey, it's not my performance review yet.
Are you sure? Today might be the day.
Ooh, it could be.
Could be,
That
right?
is true. They're leaving today.
But yeah. And it was at sunset that new friends were fun and heartwarming reunions with promise of possibly upgrading the ship for possible future travels. Um, and also alongside a nice home cooked meal. Um, Stories were told, and people started to, get to know each other a little bit. Uh, there was a interesting dynamic that we saw last week between the Pared and Tamasa, while Nicolette was temporarily away. But I'm sure everything is fine here. It's all good. Everybody here has people's best interest at heart. And you can hear one of my cat being very angry, probably. Um, but this is where we are picking back up. As the night passes and the sun rise and warm up the city, we are picking up to what is Tamasa's bedchambers, where Nicolette previously went to either be Big Spoon or Little Spoon. I don't know how that works for you.
She's
Um,
always Little Spoon because she is just little.
hey, you know, size doesn't
Comparative.
matter when it comes to Big Spoon, Little Spoon sometimes.
Sometimes. But she's just tiny and she needed to be she needed someone to hold her that wasn't paying for the right to do so.
Yeah. So yeah, we are
That's
here
me.
starting in the morning. Uh, I don't know your character's personal habit or how early they do tend to wake up, or if they're waking up earlier or later than usual today.
Nicolette probably got up before dawn, just because today is likely the day that her kids are leaving. So she's a little scattered. She kind of gets up, she untangles herself from where she's sleeping, and she knows Tomasa hates being by himself in the bed, especially like the first time when he's at home. So she doesn't leave. She like gets out her tarot cards that she's got laying around, and she's like doing readings for herself, and she's wrapped up in a blanket, and she's just sitting at the foot of the bed facing him, waiting for him to get up.
Uh, I think Tamasa always sleeps in the first day that he gets back, um, and just sort of like he's just sort of like laying there. The sheet is like decoratively like over the private area, like, and then he just sort of gets up. He's like, oh, good morning.
Good morning. It's nice to have you home.
It's nice to be home. The card's giving you a bad reading?
No, it's kind of expected.
Hmm. Well, why don't you go ahead and have yourself drawn up a bath? It's probably going to be a long day.
No, I took one last night before I came in here. It's fine. I'm just I'm a little nervous.
About children
Everything.
leaving?
Well, yes, but you didn't get any of my letters? You didn't get when was the last letter you got from me? I mean, you didn't know
Mm,
about Pierre's promotion, so it has to be at least 6 months.
it has to be. I've been hopping from island to island.
I sent them to the house in Garnet, hoping that you'd be able to drop by.
No. Are you sure about this?
I'm fine with it. It's not
'Cause I
about
can
the
stay
it's not
if you
about
wanna.
the
If you,
children.
are you sure?
Yes.
Because like
I'm sure.
I'll stay if you want the children to stay.
No. They need to go. This is not really about the children at the end of the day. It's more about Pierre.
What about Pierre? He's married to someone else. I don't.
Well, yes, I understand that. That's beside the point. This is about Pierre leaving, and I have been afforded certain luxuries that some people think I have unfairly. And go easy on La Palel, please, because he's here for a reason, and the reason is not my life, it's my price point.
Oh. Okay.
Some threats were made as soon as people heard that Pierre was leaving.
Threats?
Yes.
As he like leans up like
It's
in the bed.
nothing. The people were being rowdy. People were excited he was leaving because everyone around here knows I have a history, and it's just a thing. And it got
What?
ridiculous. And Pierre got worried that something was going to happen as soon as he left. So he hired
Who am I
Raphael,
writing a new song about that I'm going to perform at court?
someone who has been locked up since the threat was made. But the problem is that we don't think it was a singular thing. We think there's more than a few people who may feel the same way. And Pierre got nervous, so he hired someone with great honor and dignity, because he knows that La Palelle is never going to make an attempt on my dignity. I told you I needed a new dress. It was an unexpected test. The man is literally a wall. Somebody spilled food all over the two of us, and then somebody stepped on my dress and it ripped halfway up, and he had to get me in the elevator and get me up here, and I happened to end up naked because that's just what happens.
Of course.
And I was trying to get him to get out of his freaking armor because he was literally covered in scalding hot soup. And the man was like, "No, I'm good."
Odd.
He really is honorable.
Well, I mean, I didn't say that.
I know, I'm just saying he's gonna be tough to crack the same way you can normally crack folks.
Yeah.
Because he is on Pierre's payroll, not mine.
We're gonna go off and travel and have a good time and
Yeah, I'm nervous about the travel part. And you look at her and you start to realize that maybe she was under exaggerating a significant amount about the last time she physically left the chateau.
when was the last time you went out on the town?
Oh, I mean, I never go out on the town. But I haven't left because the threats were a lot.
What?
It's not safe, and you know what happens when I leave here, and I don't want to.
Well,
Just haven't wanted to deal with it.
This is our city. You're
No.
rich. You're influential. You're a fashion icon. You should be out there showing people how to live.
Well, I do with the parties we throw here and the events we throw
Here?
and
Well, I don't understand why you can't just allow yourself to have a good time.
well, that's kind of why I'm hoping that leaving is going to open that up. When we leave, I don't necessarily want to leave right away. I need to
Of course,
adjust
yes.
to the quiet. Speaking of the children, I do have one ask.
Sure.
You know some of the history. You know I cannot be at the send-off because the Sovereign is going to be there. Ariella seems very sweet. Can you take her down to the fireworks show so the kids have someone to wave goodbye to when the boats pull out?
Are you sure an exception cannot be made?
It would look awful and just open me up to more danger if I was there. We're gonna go shopping today. We'll see the kids today, but it would be really nice if they had somebody that they know and love at the send off. They know I can't be there.
Okay, I will bring Aurelia with me.
I'll watch from the balcony. And she kind of nods her head towards her room.
Okay. Well, I'm taking a bath as he like kind of gets up and like the camera like sees his bare backside, like making his way over to behind a changing screen where he like grabs like a linen robe and he's
And
like,
she
I'm
rolls her
making-
eyes because she was like, I don't know when the pants came off in the middle of the night because she's still in her nightdress and skivvies. She's like, damn, this man gonna get me in trouble one day.
And then I was just like, I'm going down to the bath. You get something to eat.
I'm gonna order.
Sorry.
I'm gonna order breakfast for everybody. That's fine. What are you for something heavy, light? We're going out today. Yes, we're going shopping.
Yeah, we're gonna go shopping.
I don't want.
But
I don't want really heavy food because if I'm going out, I'm gonna be a nervous wreck.
oh gosh, fine. Fruit and cream it is. As he just sort of walks out of the door like a diva, but before he like goes to the bath, he makes sure that La Padella is outside the door,
Yeah.
or checks to see if La Padella is outside the door.
Perfect. That's a good way to transition to another scene. La Panel. When and how do you wake up today?
Before dawn, he gets up. Probably does somewhat of a workout routine in his room. I'll let y'all think if he's doing it with his armor on or with his armor off.
I mean, I'm
Also let
assuming he's
you-
doing it like full like naked yoga here.
Morning calisthenics.
Nicolette may or may not have this information just because she owns the place, but she'd never tell.
Also let you decide if he's also eating in or armor on or armored off. So we'll let y'all picture that. But I like to imagine that he gets up before dawn, probably like a full 45 minutes to an hour beforehand. And after he eats his breakfast, he just goes around and makes his round around the like a little perimeter sweep, make sure everything's all right. People where they're supposed to be. Everything looks in order. Where things are right meticulously how it's supposed to be set. If anything's off, just puts it right back into position. Checks in with everyone. Not only is he sort of like a bodyguard, but he's also kind of feels a little bit of like between front and back of house, just making sure both sides know what's happening. What do we have going on? What do I have to relay to the to the madame? What does madame have to say to the back of the house? Just making sure everyone is on the same page. If anything is threats or any incoming suspicious activity happens, that I should be one to know right away, and let them know what we kind of have our loose itinerary because it was spoken about last night. So letting them know that this is what we plan to do around this time, this, and this, and then we'll make his way up to outside her room because he doesn't know that Madame Nicolette left to go to another sleeping quarter last night. So I think he's just waiting outside her room, and probably when he sees you poke your head out to look, he probably just like gives like a little gentle nod and then just goes right back to it, thinking nothing of the sort. I'm sure Madame has her way of making it back into her room under her own guise.
Oh yeah, as soon as Tomas is up, she's up. She walks out right behind him and walks past you and says, "Good morning. Would you like to have breakfast with us?"
Of course. That would be very nice.
I'll go ring the bell for Faraday to come up for morning stuff.
Yeah,
Is Aurelia
Faraday
up yet?
It's already
I
up or
haven't
early.
seen her. I assume she's probably resting in a little bit due to the travels from yesterday.
Fair.
May have had a hard time sleeping as well, getting used to different sounds of not being out in the ocean as well.
Yeah, a whole different kind of soundscape here in the city, that's for sure.
The hammock was a very nice touch, though.
Hopefully she enjoyed it.
One could hope.
And speaking of Aurelia, now you went to bed fairly early-ish, all things considered, yet the night before, um, in what was a very comfortable hammock. All right, I don't know what was that. Um, it was the people like, in the room next to you apparently making a lot of noise. Um, that happens sometime here. How did you find your night's sleep on land?
It was well enough. Um, I mean, she split her time between
Mm-hmm.
land and ocean, so it wasn't too strange. It was new sounds, and they have been sailing for quite some time now, so that always takes some getting used to. But the hammock, I think, made it easier. This morning, she's she is up. I think she's sitting in the windowsill, um, a knee up, just kind of looking out.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
She has a
at
balcony she can go out on too. There's a balcony to that room. If she wants.
I think she's just sitting in the window for now. Looking out. It's looking out at the lake, right?
No other direction because
Yep.
that's why I'd asked about sunsets, is the sunsets to the west and the
Yep.
lake is south. So
Okay.
you can kind of see like the corner of the lake where like the sea quarter is, or the lake quarter. I forget. I have to get the map memorized. But it faces west. You can see like a little corner of Lake Vash, but not much. I
Okay.
wanted to make sure that you had a good view of the sunset.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
She's just sitting here looking out at the city. A book open in her lap, an old, kind of worn out book of poetry, lots of notes and doodles kind of in the margins, fit in everywhere that there was some blank space. I'm just
Yeah.
waiting. She has nothing to do here like she would on a ship, so just kind of waiting until stuff starts. She's not
Yeah.
entirely sure what to do.
Yeah.
Strange place to stay, strange city to be in.
Strange place, strange to the east. A lot of interesting views, and even in the early hours of the morning, all this is a city that doesn't sleep much. That's also something you probably have noticed, as Madame Nicolette, like the night before, mentioned to you that, well, it's a working place here, and sometimes there are things happening in the hallways at all hours of day and night. That yeah, yeah, sometimes it can still happen. It's
Look, sometimes people open their windows. That's not on me.
yep. Hey, but it's a beautiful morning. Day, the, to all of you, the day is yours. And I'm
Because
sure if there was mention of breakfast and people being sent for things, that either one of your companion or somebody of the house would have eventually come and notify you.
yeah, I don't know if Aurelia would have been able to hear either people up and about or the bell or smell the
Mhm.
food. I don't know quite how large this
The
floor is.
This floor it's palatial. It's literally like one of the largest open areas in the entire building. It's kind of designed that the first floor has the super extra tall ceilings. The second and third floor, the ceilings aren't quite as high because they're used for other things. And then the upper floor, which is the residence, has incredibly tall ceilings. Everything is wide open. Um, I mean, it's older. You could probably hear people milling about if you
Mhm.
want to, but everything is designed to be just cozy more than anything. There is some sound dampening because it does sometimes get loud on the lower floors. Um, but yeah, I mean, if you even like crack the door, you would be able to know. I don't know that you'd smell food cooking because she's going to order up from downstairs, and with how late Tamasa slept in, it's probably like 2 or 3 hours after sunrise. It's brunch time.
Yeah.
Okay. I
And
think
there's food in the kitchen, and she would have told you that
Yeah.
the night previous. If you get hungry or in the morning, or if you're up earlier than folks, you can get food if you want. The place is yours. Please stay out of my room because that's the one place that's off limits on this floor.
yeah. If it's a couple hours after sunrise, I think she would have sat there reading for a bit, and
Yeah.
then started poking around, started exploring.
Yeah, and you would have probably met a lot of the staff, people like starting their day, some people wrapping up their days, like change shift. A
Yeah, in the
few,
residence itself, there's not a
yeah,
ton of people, but downstairs by this hour, there's people coming in
yeah,
for like actual brunch. There's a bunch of people downstairs.
yeah. For all sorts of reasons, there is indeed people here. But yeah, things are um, already getting busy in the morning. People are some recognize you from the day before as they leave, so they quickly greet you and ask you like, "Oh, is everything okay? Is there anything that you would need?" And
No,
this tall, lanky gentleman approach you.
I,
Right?
I'm okay. I'm just looking around. Wasn't really sure what to do or when people get up, so I was just kind of poking around till I saw somebody I knew.
Oh, well, I'm sure that uh, your the people, our host is probably gonna be awake at this hour. If there's anything we can send words. But did you want any food, anything to drink?
I'm good for now. I can just wait till everyone gets up. There's no reason to wake anyone up. I'll just keep wandering.
Wonderful. Make yourself at home, and please don't hesitate. You are an honored guest here.
Thank you. I'll
Yeah.
keep that in mind.
Probably like 20 or 30 minutes after that, Nicolette comes wandering out into like the main part of the house. Faraday, are you in here today?
Yeah, Faraday works late and wake up early.
Yeah.
Um, a
Much against my recommendations of him taking
to the
that.
point you're not sure like if he ever really sleeps. Although he always looks fucking fantastic, so you assume that you probably get his beauty sleep at some point somewhere.
Man is a
And
magician.
oh yeah,
Um,
it's like
breakfast.
he's been awake for hours and is well presented and wonderful.
We have guests. Breakfast, please. If you could put in an order to the kitchens to bring up
Of course.
some fresh bread, a couple of platters of fruit, um, maybe some of that granola that Elsie makes when she's really happy. I know she made some because she's sending some with the children.
Certainly.
Yogurt, juices, nothing too heavy. We're going out today.
Certainly, I can arrange that. Uh, Anything for drink for your guests. Tea,
Juice,
mead.
tea, coffee, the usual. We're not bringing alcohol up here this early in the day. Tamasa may place orders, but amuse him. It's his first day home.
Certainly. I will have that brought to you right up. And I do believe one of your guests has been wandering around.
Oh,
So,
is Aurelia up?
yeah, she's been up for a little bit, I do believe.
Okay, well, I will allow her to wander. I told her she had run of the place wherever she'd like to
Yeah.
explore, give her something to do, because Lord knows it's probably very new for her. She's been living on a boat for some time. Oh, speaking of which, do we still have all of the paintings in the basement of that the boys sent? The ones that I never bothered to hang up? We can let
Certainly.
her have some choice of some art for her
Yeah.
room if she wants. There's a couple of ocean and ship portraits down there. Do not bring up the one of Francois being Francois. There's one in the basement that's literally her brother, like doing the swashbuckling thing in like the most self-aggrandizing portrait ever in the history of portraits
Yeah.
that he sent, and she just immediately sent to storage.
Yeah. Certainly. I mean, if she wished to decorate the room, I'll be more than happy to accompany her. And
Anything ocean or ship themed that we have down there that let her pick.
yeah,
There's
of course.
plenty of stuff down there that doesn't get hung up regularly that,
Although, did Aurelia add a change of clothes for the day, or was she wearing exactly the same thing as the night before?
Uh, Same thing.
Yeah. Uh, I may also take the liberty to bring the lady a change of clothes.
oh,
The poor king
absolutely.
was wearing the exact same thing as the night before.
That's rather common, especially when people travel in on ships. Bear in mind, I came to the city with one dress. So, but yes,
Understandable.
but we're going to get her some new clothes today for sure. We're going to get everybody some new traveling clothes and what have you. But if there's something that looks like it will fit her well in the style that she wears, feel free to bring it up.
So I'm assuming you will be going in town.
She takes a very deep breath and is like, "Yes, I'm actually going to go out today."
Wonderful. I shall make the necessary arrangement if unless you are planning to go on foot.
I think we're going to walk. The shopping district isn't too far. However, should Pierre and the children show up, they are coming today to say goodbye at some point.
Mhm.
I will need to be summoned back immediately. Send a carriage.
We can arrange
Madame
that.
Nicolette, if I may,
Hi, La
should we
Pala.
not just get a carriage just to be safe due to recent activity?
Yes, but I
And
think
also,
we'll be
if you do have to
fine.
come back quickly, we won't have to send one out. It'll be right there waiting.
And I'm sure it will also like ease your poor companion's arm, as I'm sure there will be many things to bring back, and a poor man can only
Okay,
carry so much.
that is fair. Get a carriage. Nothing gaudy if you're gonna rent one. Please, nothing from the chateau. Just go rent something that's comfortable but not flashy. I don't feel like being seen all day. I'd
I
like
can
to
make
go
that
out with my
arrangement.
friends.
All right, totally. All right. Well,
And Lapida steps back from that conversation, having that
She-
interjected.
Just kind of smiles and nods a thank you.
He nods
And
as well.
off he goes to make this arrangement to have food brought up, eventually even a change of clothes to be brought, uh, and put in Aurelia's room as seeing her is soon the general measurement that she may need.
I think as soon as that conversation is done, there's a clang down the hallway and a bunch of hushed cussing.
Nicolette will stifle a laugh and then look down the hallway. Aurelia, are you all right?
Yes, she's just kind of leaning against the wall. Yep, everything's fine. How are you this morning?
I'm doing well. I'm having breakfast brought up for everybody. Is fruit and bread and some granola and yogurt, like just simple things, okay for you?
That sounds wonderful.
Awesome. I'm having it brought up. Fair deer is a deer, but he offered to bring you up clothes. I promise that we will buy you whatever you need today, but he's bringing you up a change of clothes if you would like to freshen up. Please do not feel the need to. I understand most people only have one outfit. If this is what you are comfortable in, you are welcome to wear it. It's just there in case you want it. Food will be here in a little bit. Tamasa went downstairs to the bath. I don't know why he doesn't use the bath in his own room, but he likes to show off.
Yeah, that. Yeah,
Sure.
I'm very hungry. Breakfast, brunch would be wonderful.
Should be here very quickly. It's about that time of day here at the chateau anyway that people are eating in the dining room downstairs. The restaurant is what more people come here for than anything else most days. So food should be up very quickly. Elise is fast, and we have one of the best bakers. I hope you like sourdough.
And anything fresh, honestly, is more of a luxury than I normally have.
Well, everything will be plenty fresh. There'll be fresh butter, there'll be honey, jams, whatever you want. And if you have any special requests, we can have it set up.
I'll be happy with whatever's available. Thank you.
No problem. So the dining room is right near where we were eating last night. We'll probably be hanging out there, just kind of prattling around the kitchen, walking around eating, or we can eat in the living room. It's fine. Wherever you're most comfortable. I plan on things being much more casual today.
I will be sure to find everyone soon.
Awesome. And she'll walk away and not pay any mind to whatever the noise was. She's figuring Aurelius got it handled and is not trying to embarrass her.
Yes, she
As-
continues leaning up against the wall until Nicolette is out of view, and then
So, Aurelia, what
as
did
we
you break?
pass-
I don't. What would have been something she could have knocked over? I don't know if it was broken, but something she could have knocked over.
There's
Are there
probably
suits of
like some
armor, or-
decorative stuff on a side table, like
I would say a side table probably.
Yeah,
Getting
like
out
Like
of
a
the-
The
bronze
entire table.
vase.
The
Well,
entire-
kind
there's
of
probably
forgetting-
like a vase or with some like silk flowers in it or something.
Yeah.
I mean, usually there's fresh, but when she's told people that there's a chance that she's going to be vacationing, so we're starting to phase the fresh flowers out. There's probably like some trinkets. There's probably a bunch of little knickknacks and stuff that are things like the kids made me during studies.
Okay, yeah, I
'Cause
think
that
she
would
had,
totally be something that would be like on side hallways and not like out in
Mhm.
the open. She'd want to display them, but she would know that from her standing, she couldn't just have them everywhere in the house.
Yeah,
And I would say as Nicolette passes, like La Perez passes by and overheard you saying you were a little hungry at the moment. So he brings out like a little pouch he has like behind him and opens it up like if you want some dried figs or some dates, you can have some till food comes to hold you over. I'm not sure how hungry you are. It's not much, but food tends to come out pretty quickly. But if you are absolutely famished,
I can wait a little while. I appreciate it though. Thank you.
of course. And puts the pouch back and just continues walking by. Doesn't even pay any attention to what noises were made. None of his business.
Yeah, I think what had happened, she had picked up a vase and was looking at it and heard someone coming and sat it down quickly and hit maybe a decorative plate or something that was holding some of these trinkets, and it like flipped over into the floor. Yeah, she quickly
Precious.
quickly cleans it up.
And I would have told Faradir to find Tamasa at the baths and let him know that breakfast is being brought up to the residence should he decide to join us.
And you can just have folks like the very well dressed and groomed man standing out there with a very very new Tamasa.
One thing that Nicolette also does very frequently, especially when she's going to be spending more time in the residence than downstairs, because her schedule right now is not super chaotic, so she's not in her office a lot. She has a little tray by the front door. There's like this really nice marble table and it's got a couple little trays on it. But she has a tray where any notes that are left for her, any incoming mail, anything that's come up that she needs to handle. So while we're waiting for food, she would definitely go over there and look. And she's looking for notes about her schedule for the day, when people are supposed to be here, that kind of thing, and to see if there's any information. And it's fine if there's not, but she's just going to go check
Yeah.
because it's habit.
Yeah, there's currently nothing new about it. There's mention of a possible there's an invoice incoming for actually not an invoice but an estimate for repairs from the Dark Master. It will cost a pretty penny. It's not a big ship, but it is.
She immediately
It was
signs
surprised
off
it was
on
still floating.
and sends it with Faradir the next time she sees him, with instructions to have the captain's cabin outfitted as comfortably and elegantly as possible without being opulent.
Yeah, I mean some things like Faraday like does and a lot of things in the chateau itself. Will delegate some, especially like sending things out.
Yeah, like I would just let him know that there's notes so that whoever's shuffling stuff back and forth. But I would approve all the charges, which Sebastian can do whatever he wants with. I would approve all the charges, make the request that it be outfitted for travel of someone of noble station, as well as making sure that the captain's quarters are the best outfitted in the ship and that they are elegant but not opulent and comfortable, most importantly.
Although it wasn't a big ship, so there's not much in terms of just big quarter per se.
No, but the captain would still have their own space on any size of ship. It might not be big, but they would have
It
a
might
private
not be big.
space.
Yeah.
But Nicolette would be, because Nicolette doesn't know. She doesn't know the size of the ship. She just knows there's a small ship, and she knows ships. because of her
No.
family. So she's, just making the request that it's made comfortable, be under the impression that she's trying to do nice things for her guests.
Yeah, wonderful. All right, and soon enough, food is brought up. Um, if all of you wish to partake, I don't know how long Tamasa will
Yeah, Tommaso will go
stew in the
down
bath.
and stew in the bath. As soon as he's told it's breakfast time, he will just stand up and get out of the water, wrap the towel around him as he just maintains eye contact with Farron. And he's like, sure you wouldn't like to join me?
I'm sure, sir, but thank you for the invitation.
I could make it quick.
That's what I heard.
Hmm. Such an incorrigible flirt. I'll see you later. And then I just, walk out of the steam baths.
I love a man's confidence that he could be insulted like that and think it was a
Yeah.
And then he'll make his way to breakfast with like a clean under tunic and the new overcoat and another pair of pants. Like he's in an all new outfit that's similar to the one he normally wears, but like is just. I think maybe he has some outfits that he leaves behind a couple of times. So just a nice. He sort of changes for Aldous, just like looking nicer and putting his hair isn't in its normal, like up in the, instead of a bun, it's just like in a ponytail. Or free, I think, because his hair is still wet and he needs it to dry before he puts it back up.
Yeah.
Good
Food has
morning,
been served.
everyone. Did we all have a good morning?
It's been alright for me so far. I mean, the food's wonderful.
Nicolette is
Yes.
literally sitting on the counter in the kitchen. Just she's got like a piece of crusty bread that's just absolutely thick with butter and like a little plate of fruit right next to her.
He grabs a bowl and starts filling it full of fruit and adding the cream and the granola. So, we're going shopping today.
That is the plan.
Okay. Clothes. Maybe get our measurements done? Or are we going to get something off the rack? I'm kidding.
What's my tailor here's name?
Good question. Do we have a tailor's name?
I have a tailor. I just
Yeah,
don't
you
know what their name is.
I don't think you had mentioned anything in the
I don't think I
Lewis
mentioned
pen
anything
pacing.
in it. We established that last game that I have a tailor and I don't know what their name is.
randomfantasygamegenerator.com.
I'm just gonna go full French here.
Go for it.
Yes.
Let's call her Juliette de la Montagne.
Okay,
Juliette de la Montagne. Love
Yeah.
it.
Do you want me to spell that out for you, all of you?
please.
Actually, I do.
Yeah, maybe I'm in the
There
mood
you go.
for a new cape.
It is available to you in our general.
Oh, yeah, no,
group
I got
chat.
that wrong.
I was close.
I was not.
I wasn't gonna try.
Same. I was just waiting.
Same brain.
It's not often that in games I get to like bring like normal and especially French names out.
Look, I gifted you a French house specifically for this.
Yeah. Yeah, she is your tailor. She's an older lady,
Mhm.
probably in her
I'm not calling her up. I just wanted to
Mid-50s.
know her name. No one tell Juliet. She's probably been my seamstress and tailor and dressmaker for many, many years,
Oh yeah,
but
she's been around for a very long time.
she's not going to be happy that I'm going out shopping. And she'll probably touch up whatever I buy.
I mean, if you want, we can just go and purchase some fabric and
We
have
can
her
do
sew
that too.
something
We'll
up. I just know that.
peruse and keep my mind off of things until we know what time they're coming over.
All right, let's go shop.
Also, Tamasa,
Yes.
don't freak out when you see Antoine.
What about Antoine?
He is his father's child. And she just leaves. She goes and gets a little shrug, and she grabs her things and starts making her way downstairs very slowly. She's walking real slow.
Okay. I'm like, well, come on, Aurelia, let's go for a little shopping adventure in the city. And my
right.
character's gonna. Oh yeah,
Am I coming with?
absolutely. Come on. And I take Aurelia's hand as I grab my mandolin and my side bag.
She follows.
Are you sure you're going to be comfortable in that all day, Lapidel? It's going to be a long walk, I think.
I thought we were taking the cart.
Well, yes, but once we're there, we'll get out. I don't want to take it shop to shop.
Oh, no. I thank you for your concern, but this is how you say my spring wear. Also my
She
fall,
smiles and just
summer,
pats
and
his
winter
cheek
wear.
and keeps going until they get to the front. And I'll go to the front desk and I'll let them know I am leaving for the day. If anybody comes by needing to see me, take their information. Obviously, we have clients in the interview process. Should they show up with paperwork or anything, just take it and file it in my office and let them know I will get back to them, please.
Yeah, and no problem. Like your staff is
And the cart is
knows
out
how
front,
to
yes?
handle things. Yeah, and it's a close card. Like it is well made, but fairly plain. Not very nondescript. Like something that you would have seen like around town here and there.
Right.
Uh,
Right
but
before
you're
we go out, I'm gonna let Tamasa and Aurelia get in the cart, and before I walk
Yeah.
out the door, I'm gonna turn
Mhm.
around and I'm gonna look at Lapidel. Do me a favor.
Yes, ma'am.
Ignore them. You'll see what I mean in a minute. And as she walks out and she goes to get in the cart, 2 Queensguard on horseback will likely come around the corner and be about 100 yards behind us looking at the cart. And he'll notice it immediately and she'll just be like, ignore them.
He nods.
And she gets in. And they will follow us for the entire day for everything that we do. All right, where are we
I would
going?
say that he doesn't look at them, but keeps them in his
Yeah.
periphery every so often.
Is he
Yeah,
gonna
few
like
minutes
ride
or
up
so.
front with the carriage driver, or is he gonna get in the cart with us?
I will be sitting next to the carriage driver.
Okay. She'll get in and she'll look at Tamasa. Did you see them?
Who?
She'll just
Oh,
pat his
them.
hand.
I just assume they're always following, so I don't bother to look anymore.
Things never change.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, if I acknowledge the fact that they exist, then I get incredibly tempted to ditch them.
Well,
And the
that's
last time I
impossible.
did that, we got in considerable trouble.
Yes, well, we got in considerable trouble. I never tried to ditch them. Should be interesting to see what happens when they find out we're getting on a boat.
Right.
Mhm.
Well,
Also,
that's their
Aurelia, I don't
problem.
know much of your history, but just be forewarned, we're being followed and will be for the duration.
Is it somebody we should worry about?
No.
And they don't make themselves very discreet. Like they're there. Like they're
No, they want
present
me to know
enough.
that they're there.
Um, I'll try to behave myself.
Oh, it's not about behaving. I'm just letting you know that they're behind us so that you don't get freaked out if you happen to spot someone following us.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. Well,
It's more
thank
as a
you.
courtesy to let folks know what's going on. I don't leave very often. I'm sure they're going to have a fun day.
All
Is
right.
there a reason they're following you?
Yes, unfortunately, there is. Where would we like to go shopping? She immediately changes the subject. She does not want to talk.
Oh, I don't know. I actually kind of want to go to like some armor shops and things. See if we can get La Palette something nicer. Upgrade his armor and his armaments. If he's
Yes, I
going
think
to insist on wearing armor all day, and he starts saying this very loud so La Palette can hear, like using his actor projector voice, we might as well get him something nice.
I have
Get rid of
offered
the
to
rust and the dirt and the sweat.
I have offered to purchase him something should he want it. We will stop by the armory on the way back. We don't want to overwhelm him the minute we leave. And on the way back, we will stop. Or while we are out, we will stop. But that is not going to be the first stop because I'm not going to make the man uncomfortable.
Fine. Let's start with essential oils.
Immediately, she sighs and she's like, Tamasa, I've not been out of the chateau while he's been my protector. This is his first time seeing them. Let's not overwhelm the man.
Okay. All right.
But if we're going to go
Lapidate
perfume
just-
shopping, I have a lot of places to go.
Okay. Excellent.
Lapidate just shifts at the sound of Tomasa's voice projecting. Just settles in a little bit more next to the driver and just keeps his eye on the road. And I guess he could kind of, without being seen by anyone except the driver, and the driver's definitely paying attention to the road, he probably just
Yeah.
gives a little smirk, a tiny little chuckle.
uh, so I think like Tomas gonna kind of steer Nicolette towards perfume, clothing, of course. Uh, with clothing, Tomas is just gonna shop. He's just gonna fully indulge himself in all kinds of different outfits. Encourages Aurelia to try out different outfits. Wants Nicolette to also try on. Like we're just gonna have like a fun shopping day. All kinds of different clothes. Every like a montage essentially is sort of like what I was thinking.
Yeah. We can do a quick montage. So, there's clothing, like some just general clothing store. It went like for fine wear, some perfume, some, and possibly visit your local armorer. Anything else in the general vicinity and shop area that you may wish to experience or see as you're traveling through? Um,
Uh,
Ariella, is there anywhere you'd like to stop?
Yeah, is there anywhere you're interested in?
I don't really know what's in the city, so I don't know what I should be looking for.
Anything you want, you can find here.
Do you want new boots? A new hat? A new captain's coat? A rope? It's rare seashells from parts of the world that you've never sailed. There's all a matter of things in this market that you can think of.
Well, we should find that and the couple of vendors that have the abalone shells. I could use some more little pieces of jewelry.
Where we're going, they're everywhere. But if you want to buy a few before leaving home,
Well, I mean, Two Lake is home. I realize I can get them pretty much anywhere, but I was just looking for maybe some earrings or a ring or something. I don't know.
and there are probably some location within the city that you would already know, um, where you could find certain wares, especially like fine fabrics, perfumes, and other little accessories here and there. The only thing that you may not be familiar fully with may be your local armorer. Uh, although you may have a general idea at least, because those things are custom made to fit. So you probably went to visit at least for a couple fittings before the final product.
Lapalal, would you like something lighter for for the trip on the boat? Obviously, it's up to you, but I'm willing to get you whatever you need to keep you equipped with the things that you're going to need. I just don't want to risk you being injured or worse.
All I want and all I need is to make sure I have maximum protection with the ability to be as mobile as possible. I feel what I have can do this, but I could sense the concern in your voice. So if it would make you feel comfortable and put you at ease, madam, of course, I would try and find something a little bit more practical.
It would put me at ease to protect you because, dear, I'm a wonderful swimmer. I've always been a wonderful swimmer. I could not drag you out in heavy armor.
It might take all three of us, or we might all three drown.
Or you could be surprised, but
That's fine too. I am fully.
I will take your advice on it, though.
Okay, and we'll
Yes.
find a really nice armor that can do both leather and chain and plate, and I will give them my name and be like, build the house, whatever he needs, and I will let him determine what he needs. I'm not going to force anything on him. I'm just going to offer him a place to buy clothing where he's going to be more comfortable, especially because at sea the threats aren't going to be that big because we're going to vet everyone that's going to be on the boat first. And then anything that he feels would be comfortable for traveling in warmer climates, warmer places, especially if we do end up going to Two Lake by summer.
He gives a very gracious and thankful bow and says, "That's very, very kind of you. I greatly appreciate it."
It is the least that I could do.
And he gets back up and sets himself to the back of the pack and eyes our two friends that are tagging along.
And Nicolette would definitely be buying some
Mhm.
perfume. She
Yeah.
likes her perfumes.
Oh yeah.
Especially if she's going to be traveling, she's going to look for stuff that is reminiscent of home. She's going to look for stuff that's reminiscent of places that they may pass through. I mean, she already has quite a few like perfumes and stuff because she tries to always like when she has clients from other cultures and other places, she tries to wear
Mhm.
perfumes that are evocative of the things that they love. So she has a pretty healthy stash. But she's specifically for this going to start looking for stuff that reminds
Yeah.
her of home.
And for that, you know that every time you need something like that, there's always Othello at the Blushing Moon, who can always hook you up. If there's something, you always have something in stock, and if there's something that is not in stock but would have specific tones, uh, Othello is always very good to work with your personal physiology
Mhm.
and find scent that will
Yeah, I
work for
probably
you.
there quite a bit. Like
Because
that's probably where I
what
get
works
most
for
of
somebody
the
doesn't
stuff.
always work for somebody else.
Right. So
And
he
we
would know
that.
what's probably going to work.
Oh yeah, Othello
He's
is
like,
like
does anybody else need anything?
you
Oils,
Um,
perfumes,
yeah.
soap.
Oils,
Yeah.
perfumes. So
Yeah.
yeah, I might grab while if she's buying, I might get myself like a fresh bar of soap.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it very
And
smell like ye old Sephora here. So
yeah. Just sort of like a fresh bar of soap, and then a vial of nice perfume. So
Yeah, I think while we're out, I'm grabbing some fabric. I'm probably going to replace the dress that was ripped with just something casual. She's going to look for some fabrics to take back to have some dresses made. She's very specifically looking for a pair of boots that Aurelia recommended, and she will get Aurelia's input on which ones are going to work best for the ship that are going to be good quality, strong, waterproof, weatherproof, easy to clean.
Yeah, if we went, Aurelia would help you with that, but it'd probably be towards the end of the trip.
Mm-hmm.
Because she's going to drag the group down to the docks. Because if you want good boots, that's where you're going to find them.
Yeah.
She would go gladly. She loves being down there.
Yeah.
But Aurelia, I think, would pick up probably maybe 2 more just very simple shirts, like what she wears that she can work in, and another pair of breeches. But I think there's a point that she finds a vest, a brocade vest, which is very nice, like a deep blue and gold. And when she finds it, she's very lost in thought, as she's kind of like running her finger over it.
And Nicolette would notice that immediately because it's who she is as a person. That one, we're taking that one. It's going to look lovely on you, dear. We'll have my tailor make sure it fits you perfectly.
It's expensive, though. It's
really
really
not.
anything I need.
Well, there is need and there is need, and there's different types of needs. And sometimes the need is to just have a pretty thing because you deserve it.
Think about how you're going to look in the portrait, wearing that with your ship, your first captain's portrait. You want to look your best. You want to impress your crew.
Just reminds me of someone, but thank you.
I mean, if you don't want it,
Yeah.
you don't have to get it, but you seem like you like it quite a bit, and I would hate to see it sit on the rack and be for someone who wouldn't show it as much care and love as you obviously have for it already.
I mean, if
La,
it wouldn't put you out any.
It would not put me out at all.
La
It's a
Pared
gift.
speaks up and says, "You want to make sure that you're commanding respect and authority. You want them to make sure that they have someone that they can trust, someone who will have their back no matter what. You deserve that. Your crew deserves that."
He's right.
Speaking of which, do y'all have a crew or are we hiring crew as well?
We might have to hire crew because the crew right now is the 4 of us.
Yeah, coming in, it was mostly making sure it didn't sink.
We're at how much crew plus how many crew members could we effectively hire that would fit on the boat with us?
How big is
Not a
this
lot.
boat? I think we all have a different idea of
Like-
how big
yeah,
this boat
Like
is.
Well,
this
I'm
was not.
Oh.
I'm hearing ship, which tells me
Absolutely.
you probably have 3 crew plus
Absolutely.
a captain and a few
You
guests.
know, maybe we should show you the boat. And could we do like a comedic jump cut where
Oh,
we're
yeah.
like in front of the boat, like with our shopping
enjoy that.
bags? And
It
I'm
is
like,
very not. It is very much a small boat. Like there's the boat, which is maybe I don't know, like at most 20 feet long. It's not very
Yeah.
Oh,
long.
Jesus.
this is
Tamasa, you
full
said this
cabin,
was a
a
ship, not a
small-
boat.
A small sail that allows it, go where it needs to go, and a small cabin. Yeah.
When we
Tamasa, you
left-
said ship.
And
Yeah.
like looking at it,
This is
like
not
you
a
can see,
ship.
like,
This is a boat.
you can see something falling from the rigging. Like it's
ship, boat, like
There is a difference.
they're not in my language.
This was all we could
As he like
afford.
says the word for ship
No,
slash boat. and
it's.
and
I don't
thin
have a
air.
problem with the. I don't have a problem with it. I just. He exaggerates everything, and when he said ship, I thought he was exaggerating like the eclipse. And I don't know if you know the name of the boat or not. I'm like, I was thinking he was talking something like the eclipse would have been, exaggerating. This is not even a ship. This is a boat, and not a very big boat, and that's fine. But traveling
also
is going to be difficult. I'm no sailor.
It's also subtle.
Well, that's fine, but I can't do a whole lot of helping. I am not strong in any way, shape, or form that is in any way physical.
We could attempt to acquire a new one, but I definitely don't have the funds for that. It would take me quite a bit of time to raise anything like that.
Well, I mean, I could buy us a ship. That would be no problem, but I'm more concerned about being able to be useful.
You don't have to worry about it. Fix the boat. Aurelia and I can.
I mean, it's
and
a dry
Leopard
dock. It's
can-
being fixed.
yeah.
Like we can, navigate it. Also, we don't have to do our entire journey on the ship. We can take this to the next location, and if you would like to go on a bigger vessel to make the rest of the journey, We can
Well, I
do
wouldn't make
that.
you leave your ship. That's unkind to a captain. And I turn and look at Aurelia. I hope you don't think that I'm insulting your ship, your boat. It's not what I was expecting because when he exaggerates, he exaggerates. I didn't think that
Yeah.
it
It
was the
is.
difference
It is.
between a boat and a ship.
It is quite small, and we are lucky that it even made it to the city.
Well,
It
it'll make
was.
it out of the
A-
city just
And as
fine.
you're saying, you were lucky. You can see somebody just like easily just like removing something from it that, yeah, this needs to be replaced. Like with any tools, like it was being held by hopes and dreams.
Honestly, it
Uh,
might be cheaper to get a new boat than it would be to fix this.
Well, that's
On
up to you.
Mm.
Have them stop the progress and sell this and use the funds towards a larger boat, but that's up to you.
Oh,
Yeah, but
that
how big
does
of a
sound like
boat
a
will you
good
give
idea.
us?
Now that there's multiple options for this, right?
Mm-hmm.
You can have a boat made. It's gonna take a long time
Ooh,
because boat takes time,
Boats take time.
don't
and
take
like
time.
there's always the option to charter a ship and a crew.
We could do that too
It's
if you
not
wanted.
cheap, especially with a good crew, but you have a fully, you know,
How about this? I have an idea. Why don't we? This needs much more repairs than I realized. It's
Mm.
going to be months before it's completely done. And I trust Jonathan to get it done and done to my standards for you. Why don't we buy a carriage? We
Oh,
can
and then
buy a very nice traveling carriage that can hold all of our things. We can purchase a couple of horses, have a driver if we need, but you know how to drive a carriage. You've done that half your life.
but I thought
Um,
you wanted to go home
well, we
for your
can. Let me
grandmother's.
finish.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right. All right.
We can buy a carriage. It'll be more reasonably priced. Right. We'll get the repairs done here. It can take as long as it needs. It can be in dry dock for as long as it needs. They can do the repairs and do them right as opposed to having to pay for a rush order.
Hmm.
We can take the carriage to Garnett and we can charter a ship to Two Lake.
on the inside, La Pared is going like, yes, don't have to change my armor. On the outside, he's just stoic.
uh,
Hmm.
just to
I mean,
see
it's just an option.
It is an option. It's just that if I could bring one small point up as I kind of look around, we charter a ship with money. Whoever is coming after you
No
might
one's
also have money.
coming after me, and the people that
They
got
can't
arrested had
buy
no
that.
money. Not like that kind of money.
I'm just saying.
You are
okay.
over worried, dear. I promise.
I'm over worried. Okay. Well,
I don't think anyone follows me if I leave the city. I'm more concerned about everyone here. But we're going to up
Right.
security when I leave, just to be safe, to protect everyone here, because it will still be
I-
business as usual.
I move next to Tamasa and say, listen, you have to start worrying when I start worrying.
okay.
Anything before that, we are fine. A
Well,
couple
it's something to
thugs,
think
a
about.
couple
We're not leaving today
mercenaries.
regardless. Oh, sorry.
No,
No, it's-
please.
No, I spoke out of turn. I'm brain is being a brain today. And she just kind of wanders off and goes and looks at the ship while y'all talk.
Yeah. Thank you, Lapadan. I just I'm trying to figure out how calm or how cautious I should be when we talked this morning, and she made some things clear that weren't last night.
I
Thank you
understand.
for looking out for her.
I understand. And having been her companion for so long, it's perfectly reasonable to be worried about situation as of now. But know
I
that
just know I trust Ariella. And Ariella knows how to sail that boat, even when it was falling apart. And Ariella is going to know how to sail this boat even better once it's fixed.
that is not being questioned at all. I'm sure her skills would be of great help and use on land or on the waters. But now that there's two additional people to look after and assist Madame, she's even more protected
Mm,
than she was before the two of you came. So, you two are actually helping me out by being here and going with us, whether it's by boat or by carriage or on foot.
wow, that's true. That's the reason.
Strength in
Well,
numbers.
absolutely. Saved our lives more than a few times, right, Captain? And Z looks over at Aurelia.
Hmm? Sorry, what's going on?
Heart of gold over here. Not eavesdropping at all.
Did I miss something?
Nothing that I can't explain to you later over some rum. Uh,
Just worried how all of us are going to fit on the ship.
I know. I think maybe the carriage option might be the best, at least until the ship is done being repaired. I think Nicolette had a point. And we should probably make our way back to the chateau with all of our stuff and start researching carriage companies.
All right. So, as you prepare to probably venture back into the carriage, one of the worker recognized you, Aurelia, because you were there the night before, and identified as the captain. Holds the wheel in their hand. Did you want to keep that one?
I'm not attached to that one specifically, so if it needs a new one, that's fine.
Get her
All
something
right.
nicer.
Just chucks it.
It really is a miracle we made it all the way here in that thing.
It really
It
is.
is. I am a terrible sailor. I have no idea how we managed to pull it off.
Oh,
A testament to your skills.
you laid out on the deck most of the time.
Well, yeah, because every single time I tried to help, I'd get in your way. So when I was most useful was when I was lying on the deck.
Balance the boat.
Just kept the boat balanced, even the distribution of weight.
There you go.
I've decided that is Tamasa's thing. His confidence is so high that even when he's like, you did bad at this. Yes, I was, wasn't I? I love it.
And I look fantastic at being bad.
No one gets better without failure.
That's true.
Yeah, overconfidence is going to get us murdered.
Not us. One of us.
Probably me.
One of us.
You? Oh,
Y'all don't know the track record I have on this channel of falling to bad dice rolls and me dying to things.
Oh.
Look, that only happened once.
I've come close a few times in other.
Let me tell you, once is too many.
All right. So, yeah. So you visited like the Blushing Moon, probably like to get some fabric and some clothing. For the general people. For the Velvet Canvas, owned and operated by Maria, and where our captain here, if or at least owner of the small boat. If you want any like more seafaring attire, you can always go. You probably like just went for a moment ago to the Seabird, which is owned and operated by a lovely gruffy gentleman called Bertu.
Guessing that's where we went to find boots for Nicolette.
Yeah. He had boots and coats and hats and all sort of things that one may need for to look be well equipped for venturing on the seas and so on. And eventually probably do a quick trip to if it was deemed necessary or not at this time. Probably not, because plans seem to have changed, but there's always a possibility to visit the armor at a later time. Um,
I would say we probably went by the armory.
yeah,
I gave them my
Yeah.
name, gave them La Padal's name, said anything
yeah,
he needs in the coming days, get it done, build the
yeah,
chateau.
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah,
Aurelia bought a new boot knife.
yeah. That's not a knife. That's a knife. Um, but yeah, it's been
Oh
a
yeah, I would have bought some new
pleasant day.
mandolin strings.
Yeah,
That's another thing I probably would have done. Lots of maintenance stuff during the shopping trip, I would say, just because we've been traveling. Like,
You'll note that Nicolette doesn't buy a lot of anything really other than some perfumes and some fabric. Um, which surprises you because you would think for traveling like she would want to go get
Mhm.
stuff, but she's got stuff at home
Yep.
she's excited about.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah, it's past midday at this point, traveling around the city, even though it's very restricted to certain area and districts. Um, but thankfully, you're not traveling by foot, which makes it a bit faster in some case. Uh, there is some shortcut that one on foot could probably take, but uh, you still are able to travel. Um, and as you travel and arrive at the chateau, uh, you are greeted by Majordomo. It's like, Madame, so it seems that uh, the Count is should be departing soon. Uh, I do believe that you do have some visitors in regards to that currently awaiting you. They did take time
Thank
to
you.
make a little detour to ensure that uh, you know it seems to be more comfortable
Thank
here
you.
than by the gates.
Yes.
But they will be
So they're
awaiting
upstairs.
for you upstairs. Indeed, I made sure that they're indeed comfortable. Uh, uh, oh, and Madame Aurelia, I did make some change to uh, your room. Hopefully, I was not too bold in my change, just to make sure that you're a bit more comfortable there. And if you wish
Thank
to
you.
come with me at a later time, there are some more things we can use to decor to decor your room available to you uh, at your convenience, of course.
Yeah, whenever's good. I'm not sure what we're doing now, but
Well,
My children
seems
are upstairs to say
yeah.
goodbye.
yeah, we're just
So
we're gonna say bye to the children.
yeah. So if you wish to come with me, mm, unless you have other things in mind.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and head upstairs. Aurelia, if you would like to come meet my children, they are adorable. And they love sailing more than most things. I come
I
from a
don't
family of
I don't
sailors.
want to intrude. I know this is kind of a farewell. I
Well,
don't want to
that's
be in the way.
up to you. You would not be in the way. It's not going to be too huge of a deal. I do see them pretty frequently. It's just they're leaving this evening, so
Why don't you go check out your new room, and we're gonna go see the children, okay?
Yes.
That
I'll
way everybody feels comfortable. And I
there we
put
go.
my
look at
arm
the decor
in.
options.
Yes, my like I said, I come from a family of sailors. I have many photos. What the hell is a photo? We have many
Portraits.
paintings of many paintings of ships and ocean scenes, and I thought you might like something
Yeah.
to make it feel a little more at home.
That is very kind. Yeah, I'll go do that because I don't want to intrude.
Mm.
Okay. Tama, you're going to need to come say goodbye to
Yes,
Josie
I
before she
will.
murders all of us. You all, again, when you see Antoine, do not freak out, and we head upstairs.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Perfect. So, Aurelia, Farrell dear, like takes you down essentially to a storage room. Please, you may browse around, and and if there's something that you would like, feel free to um, let me know, and we're gonna have it brought upstairs to you for you. Uh, I'm assuming you will be browsing around and checking things out.
Yeah.
How curious are you about things that are here? There's a lot. There's
Um,
probably a lot of things down here.
yeah, I know I need to take up a lot of time because I don't want
Yeah.
to intrude on the farewell that's happening. So
Yeah.
I'll go through it pretty thoroughly.
All right. Give me just for just a go here. Perception searching if you do have the focus.
Perception searching. Let's see. I do not have that focus, but I can do perception. That is a good stat for me. That is a pretty good roll. That's 17 total.
17 total. That is very, very good. Let's see. Yeah, actually, that would be qualified as formidable by
Okay.
age standard. So
Okay.
yeah.
My avoidance skills are very high. When I need to waste time, I'm good at it.
Yeah, and you are able to like a lot of things like to avoid dust is under clothes and things like that, just to make sure that it doesn't get overly dusty and muggy down here. There's statues, portrait, all sorts of trinkets like trunks and all of that. Um, you know what? With that 17, I think it would make sense if you search around that there's possibly one portrait that you find around of a very elegant, very eccentric, a bit pompous, swashbuckling gentleman. At least make the way it is painted makes the scene look extremely grandiose. Um, you you have seen this man before.
Oh, great.
Uh,
Who is it? Where have I seen this man before?
well, it was on sea. During, let's call it at this time, business transaction. I do believe I did send Panda you a quick DM for that portrait. If I'm thinking of the right NPC here, I do believe it is.
Yeah, that's one of the two. Yes.
Yeah. Uh,
He's the better of the two. The other one's the dick.
yeah. Of a gentleman. I don't think you've. I'm not sure if you have. Yeah, you probably have known his name, Francois. You've seen him on a ship before, like that. Like
Yes.
it was one. It was one. Merchant with who you had, yeah, a business transaction, at
Mhm.
some point in the past. Um, it was probably difficult to like recognize it fully, like immediately with portrait. Even on this well-made portrait, it's a bit more exaggerated than like the real life equivalent. Um, but yeah.
Yeah, Aurelia's eyebrows go up, just kind of looking at it. You've got to be kidding me.
Yeah, and a few things like start to click in your mind brain probably this time, based on your like impression previously.
Hmm.
Is everything okay?
I think so. This person is not somebody she has had issues with before.
No.
Things are okay. I think she stares at it for a little while. surprised at the coincidence of
Yeah.
finding this here, and sets it back down, and I think continues going through things.
And you go through things, and there's all sorts of like internal treasure, an interesting portrait, some better, some worse than others. Um, so, some artists went through some weird period while they were painting, but are you really an artist if you don't go through your blue period? But we're gonna switch a camera to floors above. As even before you enter the room, you're able to hear chit chat and laughter and talks and of people within the room. Uh, the voice of Pierre is very, very strong and does have enormous presence to him, even though it's like the men never learned how to whisper.
Oh, he knows how to whisper. He just doesn't.
He doesn't. But yeah, as you open the door, you are indeed greeted by Pierre, Josie, and Antoine. No,
Is Anastasia with them?
not currently.
Hello, my babies. And I just run in and I like immediately throw my arms around Josie, who probably is not looking at me and is now climbing all over Tamasa. Tamasa, you will notice that Antoine is as tall as I am. At 9.
My goodness, look who shot up like a weed. Hello! And I just come over and I give the Antoine a hug.
He probably resists a little bit. He's going through the I'm not a child anymore phase of the 9-10-year-olds.
Yeah. My goodness, you're ever so tall. Perhaps one day you'll be as tall as me.
Probably, yes. But it's very good to see you again.
Pierre! It's so good to see you. And I go over and I give him just a very warm hug. He's like, congratulations on your appointment.
Yeah.
Where's Anastasia? Because she did not make it.
She is currently awaiting at the gates, making sure with other traveling companion that we will have on our journey.
I am so sorry that I held you all up. I didn't get any of the letters. Otherwise, I would have been here much sooner. I was traveling on the seas through the various archipelagos.
Is that so?
Yes.
Well, interesting. You will have to tell me all about your journey.
Of course. When you're finally settled, I'll send you a nice long letter detailing all of my exploits.
Wonderful.
Before you leave,
yes.
I just have one very important thing I would like to ask you, Pierre, since you're going to be on the road and you're going to be traveling. I take his hand because we're old friends. We all spent our 20s together just being ridiculous.
While he's doing that, she's running to the back room to get something for the kids.
Yeah. If you see Ari, just
don't worry, I've got it.
I know I don't know if he's still angry. I haven't seen him since I left the city last time, so.
Certainly, if I see or hear about him or his whereabouts, I will do necessary inquiry. Possibly invite him over, not necessarily here, but to my personal location, just to talk for old time's sake, and inquire on your behalf with the utmost discretion, of course.
No, absolutely. I just, it's coming back to the city always brings back all those old memories, and I just don't want him to think I hate him.
I don't think he does.
Just didn't
And I think that's
understand.
if I may be so bold,
Of course, we're old friends.
the fact that he probably deeply know that you don't hate him by any means. I do believe it is quite the opposite. Still, just by the way you mention his name, that is probably in part source of his frustration.
Well, uh, more hugs, and like I just sort of like
Yeah,
released the tension in the room. I told him what I needed to tell him, and
yeah,
then I'm at that point. I'm just going to facilitate Nicolette
yeah,
saying goodbye to her family from
yeah.
that point.
And children like both uh, Josie and Antoine, talk with you and like try to catch up as much as possible. There's so much things that and story to be told, and I'm sure that some of your story are probably a bit exaggerated. It's for the narrative, right?
Yeah,
Gotta tell a
I'm an
good story.
entertainer.
That's
Know.
right. Yeah. That's how
Maybe
you
it's.
remember it.
I remember the sea monster being the size of the ship, like 4 times the size of the ship. Maybe it was actually just the size of the ship,
At
but the
this point,
children don't need to
Nicolette
know
comes
that.
walking in with a bunch of packages in her
It was
arms.
just a
And goes, it's a
tuna.
boat. It's not a ship. It's a boat. Don't listen to him.
The sea monster was a tuna. That's all it was.
Basically.
A huge tuna that almost knocked over the boat.
And she'll come plop down on the couch. Come here. Come here.
Yeah.
Come here. Come here.
Yeah, I'm gonna
And
play
I'll
some
sit the
my
kids
mandolin
next
in
to
the
me, and
background.
I will sit the kids next to me, and I have a bunch of little packages laid out on the table in front of us. I'm like, okay, I know that you're leaving, but I have presents. So I'll look at Anton first, and I hand him. There's a stack of just regular, like, good quality paper that I give to both of them. Write to me, you promised, once a week. Papa will drop off when you get to whatever port you're in, and they will send me the letters. Okay.
Okay. Yeah, we can. I mean, we're already planning to write you regularly.
Hmm.
We were.
And then I hand them each like a really, really thick leather bound journal. Write down all of your adventures. Every day, write down your adventures. I want to know everything when you get home. And then I'll look
at the.
I look at Antoine, and buying you a new instrument would not have made any sense. So, and I hand him another notebook that is huge and black leather bound. I bought you sheets of music. Start writing again. Because he's my musical child. That's what he does.
Yep.
He loves music. He wants to be a composer and a diplomat, and he's his father's child.
He wants to do all the things.
Yes, he's in that wants to do all the things phase. And then I turn to Josie, and I give her a new set of watercolors and a bunch of watercolor notebooks, because painting is her thing. And I hand them to her, and I'm like, paint all you can. And when you get home, Mama has picked up painting too, and we can share our pictures. This is the first Tamasa has heard that Nicolette paints now.
Yeah. Well,
And I just wrap my arms around them both, and I just hold them for a couple of minutes.
Yeah. Antoine probably like give that like awkward like, Mom, please, you're embarrassing me in front of everybody here.
And then I'm hoping that he softens a little bit, because he starts
Yeah.
to realize he's not going to see me for more than a year.
Yeah.
And I just hold them for a couple of minutes. Okay. I love you both. Elsie has treats for you in the kitchen. Take your things and go get them, and wait for Papa downstairs. And when you get to Garnet in a couple of weeks, I have birthday presents for you.
Yeah.
You can have them when you get to Garnet. Go. Yeah. And I like rush them out so that I can have a minute with Pierre and not have them around.
Come on, children. I'll take you walk you down to the kitchens. And I take either one of their hands, and I stop and I nod at her, and I let the two of them have a moment alone.
Yeah. Perfect. While they were having that moment, Pierre did discreetly approach you. Uh, for the men that never whisper, like, did talk with his inside voice for a little bit here. So, how is everything?
As expected, nothing really happening. It's been rather quiet. Just anxious moments of when Tamasa would arrive, and once that's happened, moods lighten up. But for the most part, nothing really to report. No real worries, no real concerns, and definitely nothing I can't handle.
Wonderful. And how is everything with you?
He stands up a little straighter and clears his throat just a little bit. Again, just nothing really to report. Just doing as best as I can. This place is a little strange, not really what I'm used to, but you know, after a few months, it starts to feel like it's second home. Things become a little bit more routine. You get to know a few more people, and they take you in and they trust you. I seem to have a lot of respect over here for how things are ran and the kind of personnel that she has in her establishment. And Madame herself is very influential.
Good. And don't worry, I'm still pulling as many strings as I can to help you. So I do appreciate the favor here.
And I appreciate what you're doing for me. This is the least I could do to repay back anything that you can do for me.
Well, I'm glad that things are okay. And that you are, from what I can see, as comfortable as you can be, at least for now. You seem to be a bit, well, I'd say compared to when I met you and now. Uh, yeah, you seem to have been more comfortable in this environment, which is not a bad thing.
No, it's must be the breeze from the docks that comes in.
It will do that to you.
Have to remember to stay a little sharp, but it is good just to relax for a little bit.
And I'm sure that if I ask around, people will say that you're sharp plenty. But
I hope that's still the case.
wonderful. Well, it seems that they're going, so um, I'll finish handling the business. Unfortunately, on a very tight timeline, um, and some people are already unhappy that we are only leaving today. So, um, well, and he's gonna catch up with you, Nicolette, and discuss things and probably tell you the things that you've already been telling you like a million times before, and and you you know that he's gonna make sure that you get as much news as possible uh, within the confine of you being here, or at least for when you're being here.
Right.
Uh,
And
Mail forwarding is a thing,
I'm gonna
somewhat.
let him ramble as much as he
Yeah.
needs to ramble before I say what I have to say to him. And I just nodding and smiling and just kind of chuckling.
Oh yeah,
at him.
you will ramble for a little bit and probably much longer than he should have.
Oh yeah, he's been going over the
Realizing
same
like,
thing for
oh
30
wait,
minutes.
I have like 10 minutes left before I really need to go and get things in trouble.
She just takes a very deep breath and she grabs him by both of his hands and she just looks up at him because she has to because he's
He's very
nightmarishly
tall.
tall. He's taller than Tamasa. And she just looks at him for a minute. And you get to Garnett. And I know we've talked about this. I've already paid it. Don't you dare. This is from me. Bijou's breeder has 3 litters available for the children to pick from. They each pick their own. Their kitties will be old enough for them to take care of. They're not going to be itty bitty babies at this point, and I'm sorry we held you up for so long. Take them to pick them out and then write me and tell. Matter of fact, do you mind if I just reach out?
No, certainly.
Because he knows that I can do the psychic contact thing because we've done
Yeah.
that for years. I don't like to do it without his consent. So, but it's hard to get that when we are going to be thousands of miles apart.
Yeah.
And she starts to tear up a little bit, and she's very nervous about them leave. Like, she knows it's the right thing to do in her heart. She knows it's the right thing to do. They've talked about this at length. He offered not to go, and she was like, "Don't you dare
Yeah.
pass up this opportunity. We didn't go our separate ways for you to squander it." Um, I may do some traveling while you're gone. I will let you know where we are going. I think we are going to go home, actually. Um, Grandma's birthday is in just a few weeks. She's turning 100. I should probably go see her. So we will be leaving. Obviously, the chateau is in good hands. And she starts to do the ramble thing that she does a
Yeah.
little bit. And she's turning it right back on him, filling him in with like all the details and what our plans are and everything else. And then she holds his hands and she looks up at him and goes, "I come from a sailing family. Galinar bless you with sunshine and glass seas, full sails and warm hearts. May the captain and the crew gracefully weather all the storms they can't avoid and avoid the ones they can't gracefully weather. May the gods protect you so you can protect them." And she'll lean up like she's going to kiss him the same way she's kissed him a million times. And just as she gets there, she's going to remember everything and she's going to kiss him like right here. Just enough to remind him just how loved he has always been. And then she's going to be like, "Okay, go, or I'm going to sit here and sob in front of you. And I know you hate that. I love you."
I know. And, well, I keep in touch. And take care of yourself.
I will.
And he walks out, nod to Aurelia
Oh,
and...
Pierre,
No, yes,
send Anastasia, my love, please.
certainly.
And she's going to turn around and she's just going to walk back into the apartment and just sit down on the couch, and she's going to call for Bijou and just let, Kitty sit in the lap and purr while she calms down.
And he will walk out, get children's back.
And Elise has packed all of their favorite cookies, all of their favorite snacks.
Oh, yeah.
She's like the mama bear in the kitchen that knows everybody's favorite stuff, and the kids are leaving with like 30 pounds of food.
Yeah. Perfect. So as Pierre and children are leaving, that is where we will take a little break because we've been going for part 1 for a bit longer than I expected, but it happens sometimes. So we will be back in a little bit. So in the meantime, get up, get a stretch, drink some water, do all of the things that you need, and we shall see you back in a moment. And we are back. Uh, Hopefully, with a good break and all that. Take care of yourself. So, right before break, we said a lovely goodbye to Pierre and the kids and so on before they went on their own journey across the lands and wherever this will lead them. Uh, who knows? But here we are at a chateau. Going back into that basement area. Uh, where with Fernier, Ferndeer. I have the name fucking written somewhere.
It's fair and dear.
Yeah, it's a name. I heard it both ways. Um, is with you, Aurelia, as you're like looking over and go, things that you set aside. Make sure that will be brought up and set. Yeah, and you do find along the basement some rather fascinating portraits. Um, you're not exactly sure how they found their way here, or but one of the most interesting one that you saw was really well like in the back somewhere. You had to pull a few things to see it. It was probably just because you saw like an interesting frame around it. That's like, hey, what's that?
Yeah,
Uh,
trying to waste time.
yeah, trying to waste time as one does sometime in shops and things like that, right? We've all been there. Don't lie. Um, and you see it on a, it's essentially like the way that this painting is. It's essentially the ship like from the back, like setting sail into the sea with like the sun and all of that. But it's painted in a way that you can see the back plate of it, um, where it says Gallineer's Hope on it. It's a very beautiful and very beautiful ship.
She's a
Not the
pretty
biggest one
boat.
you've seen, but it's a nice ship.
Yeah, Aurelia, I think, pulls the sheet off of it or whatever's covering it, and stares at it wide-eyed and steps back from it. I think as her boot hits the floor, ice, like frost, kind of spiderwebs out across the floor. Her fists are clenched, and she just stares at it, and then looks back at Fairendare.
Is
Why is
everything
this
okay?
painting here?
And he looks at you, and he looks at the painting. Is there something wrong with the painting? It's been in house and family for a little bit now. Why does this look familiar to you?
The ship.
Yes. It's one of Madame's prior's vessel.
I see. I think Aurelia just turns around and walks out.
And he lets you, go on the way, but he may have a look at you and what you cannot see on in your on the camera actually is him looking at the portrait and just covering it back and being very intrigued by this and watch the ice melt on the floor. Interesting. And he follows suit with whatever else was put aside.
I think Aurelia's heading for the front door. I can make a willpower check if you would like.
I would very much like you to do so.
I feel like this calls for that.
Yeah, it would not be a very like extremely eye test, but
The standard's 13.
there you go. I'm sure you can do that.
That is a failure.
Okay.
So
So
the
what
Arcana,
happened when you?
yeah, the Arcana tied to this is heart reading, psychic contact, and sense minds.
Okay.
It's up to you what happens as she kind of
Hmm.
storms towards the front door.
Heart reading, sense mind,
And psychic contact.
psychic contact. I don't think psychic contact would have an effect immediately, but I have a feeling that especially like the read mind, in that moment of panic, you just want to know everything that's going around you. Like you don't want, uh, like you want to make sure that everything is okay and unconsciously, and that's where all those thoughts come in. Like eh, they're all everybody around you. Like some appear to be further, some a bit closer, some louder, some with more joy, some with all sort of feeling and emotion, which you can still sense as well. Um, it becomes very, very quickly intrusive and very loud. Uh, as you
She
make
was,
your way,
yeah, I think she was heading for the door, but
yeah,
quickly becomes
and as you
overwhelmed
like,
with this.
bump into people and
Mhm.
like you do hear like they don't say anything, but what like you hear like what's wrong? Like what's going on here? Like no, is everything okay? Like and some people are just a bit offended that you're just like being rudely bumping into them. Um,
Yeah, I don't think she even makes it all the way outside. I think she ends up stopping on one of the staircases here
yeah.
on her way down and just kind of sits down, head in her arms, just trying to push everything out.
Uh, and as you sit down, uh, probably having your head in your hands and trying to avoid all the sound, you do feel the very some very gentle and just touching you. Are you okay?
I just need a moment. If I look up, do I recognize who it is?
You've probably seen her around. Like she's one of the various employees here. Uh, one of the Mediconsort. Um, you don't know her name per se, but you've seen her. You've seen her accompanying other people, and she's this young, like mid-20s human woman, short blonde hair, deep blue eyes, very very soft features. Are you, are you sure?
Yes, I'm
Would,
just a bit overwhelmed. Um,
well,
she's kind of rocking back and forth here on the stairs.
and she just sits next to you. It's okay. Take your time. Would Would you like to? I do believe that you have more private quarter. It'd probably be better for you to have a bit more quiet. Or would you like perhaps to take some fresh air?
I was trying to make it outside.
And she takes your hand. In that case, follow me.
Aurelia hesitates, but does after a few moments.
Yeah. She is being very. She's very gentle in her movement, like she approach you and all that. She doesn't want to do anything. The way she approaches, nothing that she doesn't want to force herself upon, but just want to make sure that you're there and safe and feel some more of a connection. that whatever's happening, that you are not alone. Um, and she leads you outside a bit more in the back. I'm assuming this place has a back garden and so on. And
Not so much a back garden. We have lots of balconies that are off
yeah,
the back that overlook
yeah,
the lake.
yeah. But I'm assuming there's a bit of a bit of
Yeah,
a bit of
there's like
grass
a
and
little park
greeneries.
to this to right to the
Yeah,
side of it, but there's
yeah,
nothing right behind. Like,
yeah,
but to either side, there's like little gardens.
yeah. Which is always nice, bit of privacy. And yeah, she takes you there. You know, sit, m- show you a little place where you can sit down. I've, you seem a bit distressed, so I just want to make sure that you're okay.
I appreciate it. I just saw a ghost, I guess. Um, what's your name?
I'm Laura.
Aurelia. It's nice to meet you.
It's nice to meet you as well. And I'm sorry that you were frightened by a ghost. But things are gonna be all right. I can assure you that.
Yeah, I just need to find some information, but I can wait. Aurelia kind of just sits there in the garden, still rocking back and forth, trying to push all of these thoughts and emotions away.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it takes some time. Like all those voices around, um, and you can hear like the inner voice of this person you're speaking to, and whatever she says out loud is very much reflected what she thinks internally. She seems to be genuinely concerned about your well-being. Uh, well, in that case, um, if it's all right with you, I'll stay here just in case you need somebody. We all do need somebody sometimes.
Thank you.
And she just sit here with you, and just you can hear the sound of the city and the birds, and try to find back your inner peace. In the meantime, uh, things are being brought to your room, and it maybe like a few minutes later, uh, after everybody's gone, um, Fandira knocks to your door, Nicolette.
Mm.
Uh,
Hi, Founder.
Pardon me. Um, I made sure that your honored guest uh, has things for a room and so on.
Thank you
Uh,
so much. I appreciate it.
I do not wish to intrude or uh, go into personal business, uh, but she did seem to have a bit a moment of distress.
Oh, is she okay?
Oh, I'm sure she's in good end currently.
Oh, did someone? Okay. Who?
Uh, uh, Laura, one of the younger one.
Thank you.
It
Well,
seems. Oh, please go
no,
ahead.
go ahead.
She did ask about your brothership while we were in basement.
I wanted to
Although,
paint which one? The
uh,
hope or the eclipse?
the hope.
Okay.
I mean, perhaps it may be wise at some point to approach the subject with I would recommend would. I mean, I don't need to make any recommendations. I'm sure if it is indeed brought up uh, with care, but I did wanted to bring it to your attention.
Well, I wouldn't want anybody to not feel welcome. I will ask her about it at an appropriate time.
Certainly.
Um,
Uh,
we're probably going to be having dinner here.
Wonderful.
Um, she and Tamasa are going to probably go to the send off to watch the fireworks since I cannot. Um,
Oh, I'm sure this could be arranged if we wanted to.
I'll watch from the balcony. I don't want to risk Pierre getting in trouble. The sovereign's going to be there. It's a thing. I think Farandir probably knows enough to get it.
Yeah. He's been around.
Yeah, he's a confidant level because he's the one who runs the entire household. So he would know about he wouldn't know the whole story, but he would know about some of it.
Yeah. And the man does have like personal skill that allow him to know many things.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. So I'm gonna watch from the balcony. I thought they were going by boat, but Pierre made it seem like they might be taking the carriages. So whichever direction the fireworks are in, just if you could find out so Tamasa knows,
Oh,
maybe he and
certainly.
Aurelia getting out of the house for
Yeah.
a bit might be a thing. God, I hope she didn't have any run-ins with Jacques. Jacques is an asshole.
Well, you're certainly putting it mildly, but yes.
He's a pious asshole. God help her if she had to deal with his ass. I will ask her about it the next time that she and I have a moment and see if I can put her mind at ease.
Certainly. All right. Well, I'll have things brought to you if honestly there was anything specific that you want prepared.
No, I think we're just going to eat it. It's just going to be simple. I'm probably going to have leftovers from breakfast. I'm not very hungry. If you could possibly bring up, a cheese board, some charcuterie, it's just snacky stuff. I'm not in the mood for anything too heavy, and we have a lot to talk about the future. Um,
Certainly,
and
we
La
can.
Perel is somewhere outside. You can let him know he can come back in. It will be fine.
I shall do so. And he nods and exit and gesture upon if you wish to come back in, you will not be intruding on anything.
He gives a deep nod at that and enters inside.
Nicolette's probably sitting back on the couch, and she's now got a little more concerned look on her face, but she's just kind of thinking Molly. It's got the thinking face on, and she's just sitting there, and Bijou's in her lap, and she's just very slowly petting and rubbing her fingers like through the feathers on his wings, and just kind of just collecting herself a little bit.
I probably take it that Lapaled has seen this look a number of times on several different occasions on Nicolette's face. So he walks over to where some sort of refreshments are. If there's either tea or water, and pours either one or the other, and brings it over to Madame and says, "Something's troubling you."
Thank you. It's probably water because she mostly drinks water, occasionally juice in the morning, but she's a big water drinker. Um, thank you. It's not troubling. It's just weird. I think our guest may have had a run-in with my brother. I don't know that you and I've talked much about my brothers because I don't see them very often. But Francois, I love the man. He's flirting makes Tamasa look mild.
Is that even possible?
Yes, unfortunately it is. The man has a lover in every port in the entire world, as far as I know. And I have the letters to prove it because he sends me many, many letters about all of his exploits. He's a dear, but he's also a devil some days. Um, Jacques is a little more complicated. He's a pious asshole. That's the easiest way to explain it. He's a jerk. He thinks that he is better than everyone else. He detests my line of work. He thinks I bring shame to my family. He would have seen me executed 15 years ago if he had it his way, but that's beside the point. Um, I hope he didn't hurt her. She seems like a very sweet girl, and he is such a jerk. He's just a jerk. There's no other word for it. He's just an absolute asshole. He thinks he's better than everyone else, and he wears his piety like some sort of badge of honor.
I've met people like that before in my past, and you know what they always say. There's always a smarter person within the room. If you think that you're the smartest one, well, you are destined to fail.
Yes, and unfortunately, he's failed upwards far too much.
Well, everyone's luck has to change every once in a while, and I'm sure our guests can handle themselves. The bruised
Yes,
ego comes
you know,
around every once in a while, but
I worry because I don't want her to feel like I'm like him.
I think even though they've been here not too long, there's a big difference between how you are and how you just explain how your brother is. I don't
Yeah.
see any similarities or any parallels between the two of you at all. So there's no reason why she would feel that there's similarities between the two of you. You've shown nothing but kindness and respect and concern for her while she was here. Do you have to apologize for your brother? No, your brother's a grown man, if that's what he wants to be called at least. Sounds like he's well, it's not my place to really put words to that.
He's a petty child. It's fine.
I agree with you. I just think that your heart is in the right place. You do care about those people that are within your establishment. You want everyone to enjoy themselves, to have a good time, to make sure that spirits are lifted.
I'll talk to her about it when she gets up here. I'm hoping it's just going to be a misunderstanding, but Farrinder said she had a very visceral reaction to seeing the portrait of his ship downstairs. I don't even know why he sent me the damn thing. He knew I didn't want it. I think it's because he knows I have one of the Eclipse.
If I may, and I know this is not my place or position to speak on this, but don't feel like this is something you have to fix.
No,
If
I
she
don't know.
wishes to speak on it, she could come to you. I don't think you really need to go to see how she is. But if it will make you feel better.
No, I'll wait till we're having a conversation and I'll bring it up and I'll just let her know that if she's had any interactions that were in poor taste with my brothers, that I'm not them.
I will say, let's just make sure that this evening's meal is a little special.
We can. Well, what would you suggest? I was planning on just, having some leftovers and a bottle of wine.
Well, when was it again that we wanted to set out?
Oh, we're probably going to be a few days for sure. We're going to determine that over dinner tonight.
Then, yeah, why not make tonight a little bit of a feast? A beginning of a new chapter for all of us. We're going to be setting out on the road in a few days. I know your time here, don't mean to use these terms ill in any ill fashion, but this part will be coming to a close temporarily.
Oh, I need the vacation desperately. And surprisingly, I'm okay. I thought I was going to be more upset about the children being gone, but I feel a strange sense of relief.
I think it's because you know that they are in good hands and that you raised them and gave them a great foundation. They'll
I haven't
rely
had
on
any
your
free
words.
time since I was 13.
Did not. I couldn't tell. I mean, you do enjoy what you do here so often, so.
Well,
Are you really
sometimes when
working?
life throws you a curveball, things get weird, and sometimes you just have to roll with it and make the most of what you have, and that's kind of what I've always tried to do. So I'm I'm wondering where Tamasa is. Hopefully he has set out to go find Aurelia. Because I'd like to get something going for dinner. You're the one with the idea. Why don't you go down to the kitchens and tell Elise what to cook?
Will you be okay?
I'm fine. I'll lock the door. Not that I need to, because no one can get up here anyway besides you and guests. So
If you insist. I'll just make sure we have a nice
I'll go set the
nice
table.
spread. Anything for you? Anything special for you?
No, I'm going to be fine just snacking on some charcuterie. Honestly, I just want to just have a quiet evening and perhaps go down and listen to some music. I know we have a band playing tonight, so maybe we go down after dinner and we go sit in the wait for the fireworks to go off while Tamasa and Ariella are going to watch the show. Have you seen the fireworks before here?
No, can't say I have.
Well, if you'd like to watch them with me, you're welcome to join me on the balcony.
Well, you know where you go, I go, so
Fair.
I'll also ask them to set a table for us so we could enjoy the evening show.
Yeah, why don't we have dinner downstairs with the music? Maybe that'll be a
That
little
is a
less
great idea.
intimidating.
And
Have them
we'll
set
be
my
able to
private
enjoy
booth.
some of the arts. Like you said, get our minds off of things, and afterwards, have a beautiful display up in the sky.
Perfect.
I think it'll do great for everyone.
Awesome. Well, let me know when things are ready, and I will. And if you spot Tamasa or Ariella, please let them know, like, that we're going to have dinner. But I don't know at this point. Good lord, today got complicated.
Well,
And she'll leave it at
so
that.
has been a day.
Yeah.
I'm gonna look for Ariella around the
Yeah.
chateau.
Yeah. Yeah, if I mean people would already vaguely know who she is.
Mhm.
Right. And people here already some of them know you probably far too well.
Yes.
Um, and could point you in a general direction of
Oh,
where
thank you.
she was last spotted. You know that she's probably around.
Okay. Do I know about the back area?
I mean, you've
Where-
been around this place for
Okay.
quite some time. You've probably been there or been brought there for other things. Um,
I mean, the gardens are outside on either side.
Yeah.
They flank the building, so
Yeah, I'll walk around the gardens until I find Ariella. Until I spot her, and then I will beeline over there, not knowing anything's wrong, just
yeah.
in a great mood.
Yeah, you just find her and Laura, which you've probably seen like years ago. She was when she first was here. Just being
Hello.
there together.
Ariella, dinner's going to be happening soon. We should go and eat, and then we'll walk over to witness the fireworks. Are you excited?
Yeah, it's, I'm sure it'll be great.
Did I miss something?
I don't know if I'm quite as welcome here as I thought I was.
What? Why? Nicolette's my sister. Whoa. We've had a wonderful day. Why would you think that?
Just a painting I saw in the basement.
Does it a painting? I don't understand. I'm still deeply confused. But he goes over and reaches to take your hands in his hands, and he's like, "I promise you, it doesn't matter what that painting was. You're fine, and we'll work it out. Remember what we promised each other on that ship when we thought we weren't going to make it. We'll always have your back. We might have only been friends a few months, but you mean a lot to me, and I would never take you somewhere where you're in danger.
Okay. And dinner would be nice.
Okay. All right. Let's see if we can find out if it's going to be upstairs or downstairs. I hope it's downstairs because there's musicians tonight. And
I'll turn and look at Laura. Thank you. I really appreciate it.
I wave friendlily at Laura.
No need to mention it. And if you need me, well, I'll be around tonight.
She'll turn and follow Tamasa.
As we're walking and we get about maybe like 10 feet away,
Yeah.
I'm just like, she's very lovely.
I don't think Aurelia says anything. She looks like she's only half paying attention. She's still kind of zoned out. But following you.
I'm gonna head over, kind of look around, see if I can spot either Nicolette or Lapadel or what's his name, Farron, the major domo.
Yeah.
To see, to ask them, like, where are we having dinner? Need to eat soon because we have to go to watch the fireworks. We only have so many hours.
I think Gerald timing, you're probably spot both Lapella and Frandier easily, like probably just both at their doing their own thing, whatever they need to do.
I'll go to Lapadel and say, "Oh, did Nicolette say when we're having dinner? I found Ariella."
Oh, yes. How is Ariella doing?
You can ask her yourself. As he just very like does sort of like a stage hand motion, like he's like an MC or something.
6'4" and she's tiny and behind you.
Yeah, I'll just step aside and like
magic. How are you doing? I'm sure lots of people have asked you that.
Hungry, yeah.
Well, you'll be happy to know that dinner is going to be soon. I know this isn't normally my thing, but we thought it would be best for everyone if we ate downstairs by the live entertainment. So we'll be having a private booth, and if you wish to just get cleaned up or what have you, please feel free to do so and just meet us down there. And I believe plan after that is to go and enjoy fireworks. I'm not sure what these are.
they're explosions of light in the sky.
Interesting. I'm sure that'd be curious to see.
They're very similar to signal fires that you would use in the battlefield to communicate location. But imagine like many of them being used almost like a painting to light up the sky. That's what they're like.
And the purpose of these is for
Excitement.
Signaling others?
Well, originally the first ones,
Of course.
but now people can create colors and different intensities and shapes from the light once it detonates in the sky. And sometimes they add magic, but from what I'm to understand, such kind of frivolous tricks are not very common, or at least that's what Nicolette says, because she says magic can be very draining. The arcana can be very draining.
That will be rather interesting to see. I've never heard of or seen these before, but Madame seemed rather enthused by it, and you do as well, so sure. I'll go ahead and well, of course, wherever Madame goes, I go as well. So don't necessarily have any say in it, but excited all the same.
All right. Make sure you enjoy
Um,
the view. We're gonna go get dressed, and we'll meet you for dinner.
Excellent. Very good idea. Well, when I'm dressed, I'll just get a little freshened up.
Perfect. So quickly enough, um, gather for quick dinner and lovely music and uh, from a lovely troupe of bards from the area. Uh, Music is pleasant, quite fitting for the mood, entertaining but not overbearing.
Mhm.
Uh, Good food is brought to you, uh, and is a lovely time. At least, well, it is, should be a lovely time for some people. For some people, it may be a bit more interesting, more complicated, with a bit more tension, illustration.
I think when Aurelia gets changed, she does put on that new brocade vest.
Hmm.
But before coming down, she unwraps that worn out book of poems that she has. Just kind of runs her hand across the cover, stares at it for a few moments, then wraps it up and heads back down.
Tamasa will get into a really nice, like one of the nice kind of courtly outfits that he keeps, at the chateau from when he's here that he doesn't take on the road because it's too much to carry. Like a classic sort of like late 16th century, or excuse me, early 17th century. So like big doublet, poofy pants, lace, cute, like a large, colorful, large size cot piece, and like a jacket, over the doublet. And there's some slashing where there's just like different colors coming through. And then I want to say that it's probably like a nice like ocean blue color, very similar to the silk sash that he wears in his regular outfit, with just a nice like brocade patterning on it. That's like maybe a lighter blue brocade of like mm, roses. We'll go with simple. It's blue rose, right? Just
Hmm.
lighter blue roses. Like kind of the like an homage to like the crown. And then inside the slashing is just like bright white sleeves that kind of contrast the blue. And he just looks comfy in this beautiful outfit. He puts on his blue hose and his shoes that conveniently match this outfit, and uh, and he puts his mandolin and brings his mandolin just in case, and has pretty much been enjoying the feast in this nice outfit.
Yeah,
Um,
Nicolette would have changed as well. She's wearing above the bar for her nice, like day to day. She's wearing like an incredibly expensive dress, lots of rose gold threading. Like she knows like what she can and can't do tonight, and she knows where the children, but especially Pierre, where they're going to be looking. She's wearing her most reflective dress. So it is bright white with rose gold roses stitched all into the fabric. She's wearing her usual abalone shells and her pauldrons and her very thick rose gold chain. She's picked a gold cape for like a rose gold cape for the night. Um, she wants to be shiny
Hmm.
because she's hoping they can at least kind of see her because she's
Yeah.
still not sure if they're leaving from the boats or they're leaving from the stuff. We'll all know when the horns start blowing to call folks to see off the new nobles.
Yeah. Perfect. All right. Anything you wish to discuss quickly during dinner time, or we can glimpse
Um,
over.
I would probably wait till Tamasa jumps up to go play
Yeah.
because I
Yeah.
know that he's going to. The second I see
Yeah.
that he's got an instrument in his hand, I know it's going to be unavoidable, and
Unavoidable.
I will scoot closer to Aurelia, and if she allows me, I want to gently place my hand on top of hers.
She does, but I think you would notice she's tense. She's been a
Right.
little skittish. Watching the crowd here a lot more than she has
Mhm.
since she's gotten here.
Yeah, and we're in a very quiet like corner booth that's like off the side of the stage. Um it's downstairs so that she can see and be seen. She's not like up in one of like the client booths that's on the second story. Cuz our stage in our ballroom, it's 50 feet of windows that look out over the lake, and it's just this huge gorgeous room. I promise y'all I'm working on the floor plan so people can get an idea. um so I'm sitting there, and I know that Lapadel is, probably standing close by. He's probably not eating with us because he's on guard with this many people around. And she'll just kind of lean in, and she will say, Farrinder said that you had a bit of a reaction to one of the portraits downstairs, and I just want to let you know I am not my brother's. Jacques is an asshole, and Francois is a hopeless flirt. And if either of them hurt you, they will answer to me.
The Galender's hope belongs to your brother.
Yes, that's Jacques. Well, technically, it doesn't belong to him. It belongs to his bosses. He's just the captain. He wants to be the owner. He's probably marrying the owner's daughter.
What's your relationship with him? If that's
Terrible.
not too forward.
It's terrible. We write on holidays and birthdays and rarely else. He hates me. He hates my job. He hates what I do. He's a pious piece of shit who thinks that he's better than everyone else when he's not.
He cost me everything.
Well, then I suppose it's a good thing that I'm fixing your ship. Start to finding everything, and I will take care of it.
Things that can't be fixed.
That's fair. And I will understand if you want nothing to do with me, because my brothers are, well, my brothers. Francois is at least a kind human being, albeit a flirt. I don't know if you've met him or not, but he puts Tamasa to shame. Just trying to lighten the mood just a little bit. But Jacques is not as kind as he thinks he is. His kindness and his piety makes him, well, him. There's not a lot of love lost there. And in time, while we travel, perhaps if you choose to stay with us, which I will fully understand if you don't, but I hope that you do. There really is no love lost there.
You should know before we travel that much of the work I've done is not exactly sanctioned by the crown.
Oh, well, then you would probably like Francois much more than you would like Jacques.
Wasn't the other person whose painting was down there?
Yes, oh God, you didn't see his portrait, did you?
I did.
I'm sorry, I know it is garish.
I've met him. I didn't realize the two of them were brothers.
Yes, you would think, as much as they look alike, that it's very hard to tell because their personalities are so different.
I didn't get a very close look when I was aboard the Galender's Hope.
They're my older brothers. Francois is a hopeless romantic and a flirt. He will never settle down with anyone, despite what he tells our mother. Jacques thinks that My job here and the things that I do are unsavory. And I have a, let's say, tumultuous past with the crown, which is why I'm constantly followed. And he believes that I have brought deep shame to my family for many, many years. And had he had his way, I would have been executed when I was 16 years old. 17, 16, I don't know. I was a teenager, not yet an adult.
I think Aurelia is quiet for a long few moments.
And she'll just squeeze your hand, and it's not hard enough to hurt or anything, but she just wants you to feel like she's trying to comfort. It's like trying to reassure you without wanting to be so bold as to like try to hug you or anything, but you can feel, especially because you've already done the heart reading and you have that kind of connection with her, that she's bubbling with rage directed at her brother right now.
You work
Outwardly she looks fine, but inside she's like thinking of all the ways she's going to slap the shit out of this man the next time that she sees him.
You worked with the crown to set a trap.
Oh,
Knowing that the Galeners' hope is a prize.
oh. She starts to put two and two together a little bit.
I understand. If you do not wish to travel with somebody like myself, I can find my own way from here.
No, I think honestly it's going to be quite the adventure we're all going to have together. I need a little adventure in my life.
You should know that if I see your brother, I will kill him.
That's between you and him. I don't know that I would intervene because he would see me dead if he had his choice. He's kind, but he's pious. He's dutiful, but his piety doesn't let him forgive, even for things that are not someone's fault.
Aurelia relaxes a little bit at this. She doesn't feel like she's in immediate danger anymore.
Meanwhile, I'm watching Tamasa dance around the stage like
Oh
a
yeah,
fool.
I'm sure you're giving it best, most ridiculous
Yeah,
performance out there.
he's giving a great performance. He's doing like a cover, like in like ancient history, like a thing that was like very popular for bards to do in real world history
Yeah.
was what we call filking, which is taking very common, like pop songs of the day and rewriting the lyrics. And he's essentially up there with his mandolin, singing sort of a Spanish style, like real world Spanish style love ballad. And he's just like Bésame, bésame mucho, but he's like changed some of the words to make it like about like La Padel, like he's sneaking La Padel like into the song, into this old tongue love song, using his name as sort of like a double, almost like a double entendre, because his name means the wall, and he's just sort of improvising.
But they're singing
Like
Pink Floyd, let's be honest.
he's just
Yeah.
sort of like, and it's just sort of saying like, I fell in love, but unfortunately they're a wall, and I keep crashing into the wall. But he's using the fact that it's in another language to use,
Yeah.
different rhyming things, and the people that know the language will get the joke.
Yeah. There's a few giggles here and there.
Mhm.
Yeah,
May I make a performance check?
Absolutely.
Okay, cool.
and I am sure that by the time we're done talking and we're listening to this, in between our various serious conversation, we're rolling our eyes so hard at the stage. I would apologize for him, but I can't.
Damn it, I didn't get any doubles. Oh well. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14.
It's very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do people are clapping. It's still like well, it's not big tavern cheers. Uh, People here are a bit slightly more refined.
Oh no,
But
of course.
you do, people are indeed very pleased with your performance, and it leads into like after dinner and things like that. And eventually, you do know that if you do wish to catch departure and the firework in person,
Mhm.
you would need to make haste towards.
Oh yeah, no worries. And then I finish it out, and then I literally like throw the mandolin, like the strap slides over to the back. I leap off the stage. I do a bunch of kisses about. I leap off the stage, walk over to Aurelia, and be like, "All right, if we're going to catch the fireworks, we have to go now. We'll be back, my love," he says to Nicolette as he like like an excited teenager encourages like Nicolette to like come with him and run into the beautiful lantern lit well like the is it like almost sunset, like right after sunset?
It's gonna be about sunset because for
Yeah.
firework to be efficient, it needs to be slightly dark.
No, yeah, so like I imagine like as I kind of lead Ariel into the streets, that all the street lanterns are
Yeah,
all starting to like light up as the nightlife of the city comes to life, and everyone's kind of heading towards
and it's a
the
beautiful sight.
fireworks.
Uh, Although some
Uh,
people may be a bit too distracted
yeah,
to really pay
uh,
attention to the beauty of the
yeah,
place.
yeah.
Uh,
But Tamasa will not leave without Ariel. So
yeah,
it's one of those
She's
things.
yeah, she comes with. She doesn't. I
yeah.
think she squeezes Nicolette's hand
She'll
as she
squeeze it
gets
back.
up. Um, she doesn't seem as upset as she was.
And yeah, it is a beautiful display, a beautiful ceremony.
Are the
Be- uh,
which way are the Does everybody headed to the boats or to the gates to leave on the with
It
the
would be
Yeah,
towards
where's the
the
crowd
it would
moving?
be towards the gates.
Okay.
If we have the map of our beautiful city of all this here, um, it would be on the eastern gate, just
Okay.
because they're just general action that they would be heading post that. It's the most convenient gate for them.
Then
Uh,
Nicolette is going to take La Perelle up to Tomasa's room because he has the east facing balcony upstairs.
Yep.
And I'm going to go right to the east, the
Yeah.
northeast corner of the balcony because it is literally the highest point in the palace, short of being on the roof,
Mhm.
that can see the gates.
Yeah. And you see from your balcony the beautiful display of light. And for those that are up close, like you do see like lovely ceremony send off and all that. And it is colorful and loud. Um, Although some people, if you heard, cannon fire, this is not too loud compared to that.
Yeah.
Um,
I will stop like as we're going to the from like a
mhm.
street vendor, and I'll buy a couple of I'll just buy some raw cotton,
Yeah,
that we can just sort of roll, with a little bit of wax and put in our ears so that it doesn't like
yeah, no, that's reasonable. Fireworks are
yeah. Oh,
loud.
yeah.
Um, uh,
Little bard trick, tavern
yeah,
trick. It's how you can keep focused on the music and not
yeah,
on the noise around
yeah, and yeah, it's not super crowded. It's very like ceremonial and it's nice. And eventually, after days go back, you can make your way back. As you make your way back, however, um, you Aurelia, somebody just gently bump into you, and you see that person uh, stumble a little bit and go into one of the alley nearby, stumbling a little bit still. Um, they it was rather strange. They seem to have been like the way they were traveling. They were a bit in a hurry. Um,
That is odd.
you. Oh,
Can
I'm assuming you check on your person. Like, are you missing anything?
yeah. Sorry, I thought Tomas was gonna
No.
say anything.
Oh.
he froze.
Yeah, I think he froze and may have
Oh,
had
like,
connection
no,
issue.
I froze.
which happens
He said,
sometimes.
"What's odd?" He did say,
Welcome
Yeah,
back.
I'll check.
"Oh,
I'll check all of my
Yeah.
belongings. I don't think I brought a ton with me.
No,
But
and you look on you like nothing is missing, which is odd. Um, do you like? I know you have like that like strong sense of like feeling and empathy and all that like
mhm.
available to you. Is it something that is always essentially on, or just whenever you want to trigger it?
I think it's because it's her wild arcana. I think it's always like low level on, like background
Mhm.
noise.
Yeah. It was just very much for a very brief moment, but you did feel like slight distress.
The, somebody just bumped into me. I think they might be in trouble.
oh, what? In trouble? No, let's go see if they need help. And where did they go?"
This alleyway over here. Let's be careful though. We don't.
No, yeah, you're right. And he puts his hand on his short sword, which he's got like his sword belt with him, because you're going in the city, you got to have protection.
Hmm.
And he's got his hand on the sword belt, and he's just sort of very carefully making his way into the alleyway.
Yeah. Yeah,
And heading there.
yeah. And there you do see like just like press against like a wall. This very what would be very nondescript person would easily blind into the crowd if you don't pay attention or if you don't are not looking for him. Probably like early 30s.
Are
A young man, very short hair. s- He's not necessarily would not his normal complexion would not be very pale, but he seems to be a bit more pale and quite uh, sweaty at the moment.
are you are you okay? And
All right,
I'm
sir.
actually gonna heart read as I ask that, just to make sure that this isn't danger.
Yeah.
Yeah. What does heart read do again? I swear I will learn your abilities.
I actually think her heart reading and my heart reading is slightly different.
I do believe so. There's just
If I could go alphabetical. So it's the emotions of yeah, the subject does not know your heart reading. If you win the test, you get a general idea of your subject's emotions and mood, and then a +1 bonus in the next interaction. So it is opposed. It is opposed.
yeah. All right. What it? It's a guess. I'm assuming you're. Yeah, you
It's
did a
my
roll.
yeah, it's my perception.
All right, roll your perception. It's what that you roll? That's his willpower, I'm assuming.
Resistance, willpower, self-discipline.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Mhm.
So I rolled 12 on my side.
Okay. I rolled a. This is perception for me, which is +3. That's a 16.
16. So the first feeling that you get is fear, not necessarily from you, but from things in general. Fear of failing, fear of not being able to make it.
Yeah. So stepping forward. Are you okay?
And you see he's trying to speak, but as he speaks, it's like his airway like being blocked, and he sits down and like he's not sure about who you are, or but you can visibly even without any medicine knowledge that the man is visibly ill. There's definitely something going on here.
Tamasa, is there anything you can do?
If you
I
want to
rolled
try to assess that further, if you have any talent or focus that would help you with that.
Let me look at my sheet because I don't think I do, which is not good.
If you have any
Um,
intelligence evaluation healing or
no, I don't. That's not Tomas's thing.
I
Healing
have
is
nautical lore, but I don't think that's gonna help here.
in that case, like it would
no.
just very much be straight intelligence.
Okay. I'm gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try. I'm just gonna kind of look at him, see if I can recall basic midwifery stuff I learned in the caravan. Okay. 7, 8, 9.
9. Uh, hmm. You're a well-traveled man, right?
Mm-hmm.
So you've probably ventured into area where it's a bit more dangerous, just by like the nature of like place,
Mhm.
like the
Yeah.
wild and things like that. I'm gonna give that to you because I'm in a generous mood tonight, and apparently, yeah. This is the sign of a man that has probably been poisoned.
Oh, at that point, I take a deep breath and I lift him up,
Mhm.
and actually, I mean, I only have a strength of 1, but
Yeah,
I'm gonna
which
try
is
and see
enough.
if I can just pick him up,
Yeah, he's a small man.
and just start like just carrying him,
Yeah,
to the chateau because I know that
yeah.
she has healing things there. Like this man needs help.
All right.
If there is a hospice or a clinic
Mhm.
before the chateau, I will stop there. Like Tomas has a lot of, and like Hector the player would like to get everybody else together, but if there is like a healer that's
Mhm.
closer, he'll stop. But
You were probably close enough to the chateau, like in general.
okay, excellent, good. Then I'm
Just
going straight to the
to
chateau.
know how well you're doing, because it may impact like time-wise, like how well you're
Hmm.
doing and what
Hmm.
timeline is for this fella. Could you roll me a strength might if you have the might focus?
I do not have the Meds focus. I have strength. Does a straight strength
Yeah,
check or
yeah, just
okay?
strength. Yeah.
Um, 14.
14. That's pretty good.
Mm-hmm.
That's above challenging, which is good. Um, so it's fairly quickly between. I'm assuming Aurelia, you're probably following. You do follow and through, and you know if people need to make way, you're able to easily make way, and if basically there's some distress, there are already people staff on hand available, ready to help. They put him in a room, and either they're being called, uh, his garments are being removed,
Yeah, it's
to be able
very
to
dramatic.
visibly see things. Um, and I'm assuming you're probably in panic mode, just like making sure that everything is okay within that room, correct? Or are you like stepping out of the room?
I am going to stay because I'm very, very concerned because
All right.
Ariella and I found somebody who we don't know during one of the most important holidays poisoned.
Yeah. And Aurelia, are you also like being in that room as well?
Uh, yeah, she'll stay because there are a lot of concerning things that she felt
Yeah,
when she did the heart
which is
reading and stuff.
valid.
She'll
Uh,
stay.
could you both of you just quickly give me a perception seeing if you do have the seeing focus,
Oh no, I
or
do not
just
have
otherwise just perception?
This is not related to empathy, right?
No, it is very much
Oh,
seeing.
okay. So I got 4, 4, 6, and the double fours, uh, and then my drama die is 6.
Okay,
So
perfect.
okay, so
Yeah,
I have
you
6
do have
stunt
6 stun
points.
point.
All right, let me pull
Two.
out my stunt thing for the perception based
I
ones.
rolled 15 total, and I also ended up with 5 stunt points.
All right. If you have any stun that would help you like see things better, or quicker, should I say. That would probably be under exploration stunt in this case.
Yeah.
Um, we can probably like reskin like object of your attention because it is indeed something that will catch your attention.
Yeah.
And speedy or efficient search are also very good things to that.
I'm going to burn all 6 because you can use the stunts more than once, right?
You cannot double up on the
Oh, you
stunts.
can double stunts.
Right?
Okay, cool. Okay, then 2 for speedy search, and 3 for object of your attention.
I'm going to do
and then
search.
1 for advantageous positioning.
Mm-hmm.
To find like the right angle,
Yeah.
like in the room, to kind of like take in everything that's going on in the area.
Perfect.
If that makes any sense.
All
I'll
right.
do speedy search, and then that makes me wonder.
Yeah, which is a good thing that you may use. That makes me wonder as well. As you like, they're like taking all the garbage, all of that. Make sure that if there's any wounds or anything that they can see. You do catch a glimpse if one inner pocket of his jacket there is an envelope, and right on that envelope you are barely able to see a seal. A seal with a very distinctive blue rose on it. And that's where we'll pick up next week.
Oh!
He said the name. He said
That's
the name.
right. I said the name.
Who said the name?
Yeah.
House of Healing, and you do not go get the head healer. The scolding Tamasa is going to get in the morning.
I'm in so
It's
much
all right.
trouble.
People are gonna go get you. But yeah, thank you very much for everybody for joining us tonight. I'm sure that the content of this is all fine. It's not gonna cause any more turmoil for our folks here who are already living a slight turmoil to his life. But with that, let's go around the table and tell the lovely people at home who you are, where they can find you, in whichever order you wish to go.
I'll go first. Hi, my name is Hector Manuel Reyes, Hector Reyes. Can be found at KG Okami on Blue Sky, Twitter, Instagram, pretty much like everywhere. That's pretty much who I am. And please follow me. I have cool stuff coming up. So
Cool. Very much looking forward to cool stuff. I like cool stuff.
yes, cool stuff. Nothing I can announce right now, but cool stuff coming up.
And who do you pass that to?
I am going to pass it to my beloved Nicolette.
Hi, I'm Awkwardish Panda. I'm everywhere on the internet at Awkwardish Panda. I'm pretty easy to find. Pick a social media platform. I'm there. I mostly stream on Twitch. I stream Monday, Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Monday nights you can catch me here on my channel. I usually start around noon. We do a lot of painting and a lot of playing Baldur's Gate because I'm a thirsty bitch. And then Sunday mornings, you can catch me on Dimples and Dice's channel for the next couple of weeks. We are wrapping up our series, Wayward Revelry. We are going to be done. A little sad about it, but we're going to be done in probably 2 weeks. We are right at the end of our campaign. So that's coming up. And then later this month, I will be with Frank starting recordings for Fiends of Fairwick. Hi, Dimples. Dimples, of course, runs Wayward Revelry, but Fiends of Fairwick is our Monster of the Week campaign. We start filming on September 25th. Things are a little complicated right now. We should have everything starting to release the end of October. We're trying to get some episodes banked and edited before we start rolling out releases, but we do have a Patreon that is up and running. There is some one-on-one between keeper and player, between player and player. There's a lot of RP content and stuff like that that is going to be coming out over the next couple of months. Short stories that are being released tomorrow, and there's a one-on-one that goes with that that's being released next week. So come through for that. Lots of fun stuff that we have for our patrons already before we start officially releasing episodes. But yeah, I'm a competition mini painter. That's my life right now. I have one competition to finish this week, another competition to finish next week, and then I start gearing up for Adepticon, where I have I believe 15 entries planned for various competitions, and they all have to be painted by the end of
Oof,
March.
that's a lot.
So
Ooh.
I'm busy with a lot of paint. So please put me on more TTRPG stuff too, so that I can take a brain break from sitting like a diseased shrimp. Thank you for the terminology, pirate, again, because it's perfect.
It's accurate.
Accurate.
I literally sit on my feet hunched over like this with a paintbrush and a magnifying glass for like 15 hours a day.
Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Bunny.
That is me. I am Anna, aka Archival Dust Bunny, most places on the internet. I'm a queer and trans advocate, museum worker, and TTRPG performer, producer, and podcaster. Find me on Twitter at Archival Dust Bun, and everywhere else, including Instagram and Blue Sky at Archival Dust Bunny. I'm going to keep it short today because my voice is tired.
I feel that.
Yeah, lots of games going on. Social media is the best place to find it. But if you like Lancer, check out Response Team Omnicron. We were just selected for the New Zealand Webfest. Very proud of that. We've been described as if Battlestar Galactica had its own red versus blue. So if you like sci-fi or mecha or war stories or anything like that, find us anywhere you normally get your podcast. And then if you like magical girls and stories of queer relationships and finding hope again after devastating loss, and how your grief affects you and those around you, check out Bloom and Blight, our Girl by Moonlight actual play podcast. We are 4 episodes in. Episode 5 is coming out soon. We have extra content that's coming out right after that. We haven't announced it yet, but if you want to stay up to date on that, find us on any of the social medias you normally frequent at Bloom and Blight, and find the episodes anywhere you normally get your podcast. Leave us a review if you get a chance. That's really important for a podcast, and we would love you for it. But yeah, lots of stuff I can't announce yet. Lots of stuff that I'm also in, but not going to talk about tonight. Just give me a follow on social media to stay up to date where and when I am at.
Awesome. And Lonzo.
How we doing, everyone? Lonzo Gonzo here, pronouns he, him, a Latina variety streamer, TTRPG player. Also do Magic the Gathering because why not? Let's add more of the nerd shit. You can find me on Twitter and Blue Sky at Lonzo Gonzo. You can also find me doing stuff over at my podcast, where myself and a few other BIPOC players, along with our queer-led game master, is doing a Star Wars post Order the 66 podcast with Pathfinder 2E. That's Unwavering Force. We just released one of probably my favorite episodes last week. A lot of tension in there, and that finally got to be cummed up to the surface. So there's a lot of great tension in that one. One of my favorite ones. You can also find me this Thursday. I will be recording episode 200 of the Weekly Cooldown podcast. This is their pre-Latina Heritage Month episode, so I will be recording that. Also on Saturday, you can find me over on Diversity Saves over on the Twitch channel, where we'll be doing a charity game benefiting Latina Heritage Month. I will be playing Kids on Brooms. So I'm excited to do that. I've only done Kids on Bikes, so I'm really excited to be trading the bike out for a nice broom and to kick some ass with some magic and raise some money for some great and good funds. Other than that, you can find me there. I'm probably going to be streaming some more stuff. I have some more charities things announced, seeing as Latina Heritage Month is starting the 15th of September, runs through the 15th of October. So there's a few more charity events going on. Also check out Cafe Cultivar, where I'm a team lead. They are doing a Monster of the Week campaign every Friday nights over there. So they just started episode 1 last week. If you missed it, there is a VOD up there. There's also a YouTube you can catch up on as well.
Awesome. I love Monster of the Week. It's so great.
Yeah, it's a great game. Great group of folks over there.
All right. And as per usual, I'm Frank, sometime better known as a Greater Freaky here on the internet or Riscal Production for any audio, music, or audio editing stuff out there. If you are looking for music or audio editing, you can hire me. Contact me through some social, and we can talk about it. But yeah, that is gonna be all for us for tonight. Thank you again for joining us for our second episode, and we shall see y'all next Monday for the aftermath of this. Take care. Have a good night.